All right. One quick moment before you begin this wonderful adventure into Galore and the wonderful players there. Just a couple of things. This episode is the first real foray this group has had, and my own personal experience, into the actual play space. And I just want to say, forgive me for my terrible audio balancing and all the issues that come up. We haven't really figured everything out until around episode 8, I believe. So by then, when you get there, everything should be smooth and easy to witness and watch. Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy. And we'll have fun.
Want to get
Some
a
water,
coffee?
splash it in your face.
I'm not even
Yeah,
a person.
yeah.
Down to the dump, worked
I've
out,
already, already
shower.
done that. The the whole ritual, the whole morning ritual. I've done it.
Nah.
Open your window and just yell at your neighbors.
I think somebody is about to be in our chat. God, I need a second
yeah.
monitor.
I just got the perfect personality trait.
Feet, right?
Where is it?
Hello, dog. That's everybody.
Hey,
Good morning.
Hey,
Iron
Good morning
Dynamite
for every.
and Talking Dog. Would you
for-
guys be okay with somebody else sitting in for the session if they just sit quietly?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Portal. Can you mute them when they get in
Do
here?
they work for the state or
No,
something?
no.
Do they work for the state? Are we being monitored?
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
exactly,
The local
but-
FBI agent.
Is this
because-
part of your plea bargain?
It's my parole officer. They have to know I'm at home, so
Are they already in the server?
no. But I'm gonna go bring them. I
Okay.
told them to
Satan in
wait
your ass
because
over
I wasn't gonna
here.
put them in the server if they're not doing anything.
In the meantime, good morning and/or afternoon, peeps.
Night,
Pleasure
bitch.
to have
hello.
It's what? Isn't it like 4 o'clock there, Leo?
5 p.m.
Okay, that's still afternoon. I win.
Just like how I won with the big ass
Good
fucking
evening.
lamp outside. I won that one.
Yeah, you won that one. Okay, now
That's my extra.
wait.
Indulgence is frivolous.
Okay. Okay, so first things first.
Oh fuck.
Since I have you all gathered here today, does anyone have any questions before we start introductions and do all the usual stuff?
Yeah, I have a
In
question.
terms of
Oh,
in
sorry.
terms of characters, sheets, mechanics.
How many lines do we have to blow?
I will fucking
before-
end you. I will fucking end you. Understand?
How many cocaines can I do before my character
Oh,
dies?
Fucking damn it! Here we
Alright,
go.
Open up the valve.
1 second.
I'm,
Actual
I'm-
question.
I'm gonna completely throw out the whole part of the character. I'm done with it.
God damn it!
No coke. Thank you.
You guys have the wrong idea about what's going on. So
We're
that's,
just fucking with
That's
it.
just not gonna be a part of it.
No, we're just messing with you.
No. Your
Right,
coke
we get it.
privileges have
We get
been
it. You
revoked.
don't do cocaine.
All right,
Wink.
fine.
It was never. I never even said the word. Honestly,
Well,
just
no,
trying to add coloration, but you know.
no. I was the one that said Oswald looks like a guy that would do a line daily, and it just spiraled out from there.
Okay.
Listen,
I don't know how you got those cards, by the way, dog.
How the
On roll
fuck?
20. How did you get those? Where did you get them from? You shouldn't have them. Whatever. I'll leave them there.
Stealing a card, fuck
Oh,
you.
thank you. God damn it. No! Not the cards. Where's the fucking. Let me get rid of those things.
I'm trying to get it off, but everybody's playing with them.
it's just me. I'm sorry.
No, it's not just you. I can see everyone's name as they're doing it.
I take full
I
responsibility.
don't even know what I just did.
He stole his
Aha.
cards.
They've been
Clicked on
taken
it,
from me.
and then I couldn't stop it. There's no stopping it.
Okay, now that those are out of the play, I don't have to worry about giving you guys card access anymore.
You could
Yeah,
call
so
it a
any other.
cardiac arrest.
I will end you. It's not-
Hey, Portal.
5
Can I
minutes.
do have one more question?
5
What's it
minutes.
like
Okay, yeah.
babysitting a bunch of toddlers all of a sudden?
It's not all of a sudden. This is what it is every week. Whenever I play, whenever I try to start a session, it's the usual.
I'm ready to listen.
yeah. All right.
ahead.
like I was saying, any questions, concerns, sheet questions, like anything at all before we start with character introductions?
Yeah, I had a question. Sorry.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember that I told you that I had like problems adding the background equipment to my thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Still don't know how to do that.
Is it like when you're talking about like your background feature, or are you talking about like background items?
The items, the items.
Which background did you take again? Let me.
Outlander. I took Outlander.
Okay, can go open that up real quick for you.
What I just usually do is I look it up on like Google or something, and I just add them in manually for the most of the background items.
So you got a staff, which
Guess
would
what I
be
did?
I will
I just
say for
created them.
cantrip, Shillelagh will fucking murder everybody.
quarterstaff.
Yeah.
So
I
for future
wonder.
reference, if it is an SRD item, which is most items in this, except for magic ones, you can. There's a little eye icon on Roll20. You can type in the item and drag it over to your sheet, and it'll auto put in your sheet.
Oh,
It's not every. It's not every item, but it's a good number of items.
Oh, okay.
That would have made my life so much easier.
It's
And,
always-
and can we add there like custom stuff? Like I don't know if my druid just decides to pick up like rabbit shit or something and put it in his pocket.
you,
Can
well,
I
you,
add it to my inventory?
You can just
You
do
would-
that. Like on
you
your
would have to
character
do
sheet,
that
you just
manually.
click the plus sign in
at the, at the
in the
very bottom
equipment
of
thing,
the.
and then you just type in rabbit shit, and you just say how many pounds of rabbit shit you got.
100.
And then I look at
Okay.
you disappointed.
I
Okay,
have
I
a,
have
every
6
single
pounds
time.
of rabbit shit
I do have a
now,
new
DM.
question
Okay.
too when we get there.
I think I see
Okay.
it.
You're saying?
Me?
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah.
What are critical failures going to be like for you? Are they creative or do they follow like
For
a
the
pattern?
most part, like critical failures and skill checks, depending on what it is, it might get a little bit goofy, but it's not gonna. I'm not gonna overtly punish you, especially like in combat. Crit ones or misses. It might be comical, but or a little bit like bad luck. But I don't do the crit
You
fail.
know, do the
check.
whole you fall down and hurt yourself crap.
No, I don't.
You know, do all
The
that.
whole roll
Yeah.
It's
square
not-
thing.
You guys
That-
roll a
that's
lot.
good.
You guys end up rolling a lot, so it sucks to be punished just for trying.
Eventually, it's just gonna be paranoia of even just touching the
Rolling.
roll feature.
Yep. Anything else?
I think you have the right to call it an epic failure if I try a persuade check and get a 1, though.
Yeah,
may,
no, absolutely.
may I
it's not
call
the-
my patron Telson Jaffe?
I will again.
Oh god, that
Raphael,
would be the
I
best
will
patron.
Raphael, I will strangle you. I will go to the Netherlands. I will break into your house.
And I will offer you a syrup waffle.
Okay, jokes aside, let's try to keep the intro a little bit on the ball, in motion. Give me
Aye,
just
aye.
1 second.
Oh yeah, I had another question. It's not it's
Yeah.
not it's
No, it's
kind
okay.
of sheet related. For the roles, do we have to use the chat in Roll20, or can we roll or like our physical dice?
Roll20 is just so everyone can see it, and it has
Okay.
a lot of extra features.
Okay. Sure. Just
It
wanted
also
to
does
check.
all the it also does all our math for us.
Which is really helpful.
It's super helpful.
Holy shit.
You might want to turn rhythm down.
I am.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
There you are.
I'm glad that you put
Alright,
music
hold on
in
a
here.
second, I
Though.
gotta
That
turn
is
it-
something I.
Turn the overall volume down when I figure this out.
I keep it at like 5% most of the time.
All right, turning mine down to 25%.
I think 60 is
still
good
really
enough for me.
Yeah, it can be really loud though. Not all music plays the same. It really
I thought you were playing it through Roll20. I didn't realize
No.
it was in Discord. Yeah, gotcha.
not all the tracks, because only the tracks that I own and have like files for, those are two separate entities. Are the
Right,
ones
right,
that I can put on Roll20. And for today's, I don't have any of those properly prepared just because they don't fit. So let's start with introductions. Does anyone want to present themselves first as a sacrifice? Just speak first and introduce their character and themselves.
Not it.
I'll do it if nobody else wants to.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, my name is Normac. You can call me by Normac in reverse. My real name is Cameron. I tried joining the Navy earlier this year, and now I'm never allowed back in the military. I'm afraid of being loved, and my character, I made him have the worst, most tragic backstory I could. Thank you.
McChed talks
Nice
with
to meet you,
Cameron.
Cameron.
Nice to meet you, Cameron. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Cameron. To this D&D anon.
This is my first time in D&D Anonymous. I have a real problem. I'm trying to overcome that. I'm never gonna forget the 10 steps, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first one being roll initiative.
Oh, shit. All right. I got a 7. So...
All right. Next on the list.
I'll go.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna go down the list.
Oh
So
no,
let Raphael go.
yeah, I was gonna make Raph do it for all his puns. It's punishment.
Hey, you just made one yourself.
Go.
Hey, you joined me. You've become the monster you swore to destroy.
And that's Raph's turn.
And
Oh wait, we're
moving
rolling
on.
initiative.
I think
Okay.
we get the gist of it. Yeah.
Yep. No, we all understand Raphael as a whole entity. We can move on.
I think the person with the lowest initiative should go next.
No, you guys don't have to roll for it. Whoever wants to go next, go next.
Okay.
Yeah. Dog, you want to go?
All right. Yeah. I am a talking dog, but often referred to as chef. I am a
Yes, chef.
professional chef in the United States. I am 35 years old, so I'm actually like twice most of your age right now. I grew up in Wisconsin, or actually Northern Illinois, but very close to where Gary Gygax invented D&D. So the culture around there, to put it in perspective, when I used to play football, after football games, instead of having parties, we would have D&D sessions.
That's hot.
So it's very prevalent. I've been playing for like ever. Otherwise, I am a martial artist on the side. I like to cook, obviously, and I sing in a rock and roll band.
Shit, what you do for...
A man of many talents.
All right, now I feel like an idiot for going first. That's all I'm gonna say.
No,
What
it's okay.
sport do you do?
Each person's introduction doesn't have to be. You don't have to. Just get yourself out there. You don't have to put your life story on the line unless you.
I have a question.
want
Dog.
Yeah.
What did you say? How old did you say you were?
Who, me?
Yes.
35.
Oh, okay.
I understood 75, but
I
I know
thought-
it's
yeah, that's-
35.
I'm not 75, no.
He is an old man, so...
I don't think
Yeah, same
35
thing.
is that old.
Who wants to go next?
35 is old enough for me.
Any
I'll
volunteers?
go, I
You're not
guess.
my type, Brad. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm Rar. That's what I go by in games. My name is James in real life. So
Hi,
James
James.
Bond was a big thing for me when I was a kid. Used to introduce myself like that to people. I work in IT. I've lived all around the world because I was a Navy brat, and I work for a healthcare organization now in IT. And yeah, my other hobbies are like gaming. I do a lot of video games, and I'm really big into like astronomy and like the space program. Ton of like
Nice.
NASA posters, and the most expensive thing I own is my telescope. It's like a $3,600 telescope, and yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I like space a lot. That's one thing most people don't know about me when they first get to know me in games. And I'm playing Jane Bond. She's a little street rat. And yeah, you guys know a lot about her already, I think.
Little bit.
We'll get to know a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have gone
Would you like to go
first.
next, Iron?
Yeah, sure. Hello guys. I'm Iron, and I'm a D&D alcoholic.
Hi, Iron.
Yeah. I go by Iron in,
Welcome
like,
to our
in
cult.
games and stuff. My real name is Juan. I'm from Colombia, and I'm living in Colombia right now.
Que ciudad?
Okay. Yeah, I'm next semester will be my last semester in university. I'm doing computer science. and yeah, hopefully I will get a job afterwards if everything goes well. I've always loved storytelling in all its forms from a very young age, like books, comics, video games, all this stuff, and hence why I like this so much. I think I've told you guys I'm not like that experienced. I've only played for a couple of months. I've always wanted to play, but this year with the quarantine and all the free time, I finally got around to do it, and I've been loving it. So yeah.
Okay.
Hell
Now,
yeah, man.
Raphael, you get a second chance.
Yes.
That's my second chance. No. Well,
All right, well, that's your
I'm
second
Raph.
chance.
I'm Raphael, but just call me Raph because that's what I've been called for like my entire life. I'm an EU boy, and it will stay that way. I'm still in high school because the Dutch educational system is way too fucking hard to explain. And been playing D&D for like 8 months now. Been in well, my last campaign, wouldn't call it a campaign since it lasted one session, but I'd say 2 now. And I like doing some voices. That's really the extent I can talk in a group about because I'm horrible at this shit.
That's perfectly acceptable. And me,
Yeah.
I'd say, oh, what? Yeah?
Go.
Oh, yeah. I am Last, and I am your wonderful DM for this campaign. My name is Julian. Most people call me Portal online. I've been playing D&D since I was 14, so there was a point in my life where I was the squeaky little child going, "What's that do? What's that do? Huh?" And I'm very grateful for my experiences, and I've grown up with this as my hobby and pretty much the only consistent thing that I've enjoyed. I've played video games, I've read books, I've tried my hand at writing short stories. I've done it all, and nothing really hits the spot like D&D for me. It's really my pleasure to run for you guys. It's not often I get very interested in cooperative players. So despite you guys thinking you might not be much, it does mean a lot to me to have people who are very interested in putting themselves forward like this.
I'd
And with
kill
that,
for you.
I will end you.
With
and with
that, I
that,
will
we
kill
roll
you
for
all.
initiative.
With that, you're all
Um,
going to die.
Can I
Oh,
say
God.
something real quick that
Sure.
I just noticed?
What?
Raphael has Leo, but where's Donatello and Michelangelo?
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Your character's not safe anymore.
You've cracked
you did
the
it
code.
to yourself. You chose two
Yeah.
of the Ninja Turtles to be in your name.
Wait, is this
I'm
character?
gonna give you an out, Raph. Your two compatriots in your adventures in the Dead Mounds are
Donatello and
Good
Michelangelo.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been this is the
All the
torment
Renaissance
of named
painters.
Raphael.
Their names are Donnie and Mike.
okay. With that out of the way, we can get the
I will
introduction.
fucking end you. Come at me, man.
Do the Kermit voice.
I'm going to stab you.
Okay. So
Imagine being an angry Kermit with a knife, just stabbing.
there
at
is
the
a meme about
and
that.
two people.
Uh,
weapon
to
surpassed
to
him.
officially set boundaries, because I've been pretty out there in a bit. We're gonna treat this like a PG-13-ish show in the sense that I will show blood, people will get murdered, terrible things will happen, but we're gonna keep it and try to imagine it as if this is a show that we would put on air. We're gonna focus more on action and inter-character stories than most of the other stuff. There will be a little bit of exploration here and there. I'm still working on getting good at it. So if you guys want to go exploring, be aware that I'll be working on it to keep it interesting. And we're going to open up on Silverkeep. For our wonderful spectator, I'll give a little bit of backstory. There is a world anvil with all of the more in-depth blurbs, but Silverkeep is essential. It's the capital city of Glor, the wonderful empire you are all starting in. Its current king is a man named King Aston, who is beloved by his people. It is guarded by the honor blades, blah blah blah. or the honor bound. Oh,
Wow,
English.
man.
It's my thing. It's my favorite language. By the honor bound, who are the local protectors and guards and royal. They are charged with keeping the royal family safe. All of you are very interesting people with your own reasons for being here. And again, we're gonna start in a kind of like pick a person order for roleplay here. Today it is about mid-noon when we'll be opening up. Imagine it very cinematic, like a movie, kind of where we're just like panning down on the characters. Who would like to be first to be introduced?
I'll go first again.
Do this like we did last
Hey,
time.
It doesn't have to be the same order. No, it's different. This is she's gonna be a little bit different.
I'd say I keep mine in the back just because
I really don't
I'm
mind
thinking
going
that
first.
he just came back, so
He just got here.
I can go first if you want because
Oh, that's perfect.
the first
that's
one
actually
usually
perfect.
So to open up,
like technically Jane lives here and
to
everything.
open up, Jane. Today, there's been talks around the streets, and you're very excited because today's supposed to be a day where a lot of food, a lot of delicious things yet to be eaten and stolen are going to be put out. There's going to be a party. It's a fantastical festival. It's supposed. This is the day of the day that the doctors said the heir to the kingdom will be born, and so everybody else is throwing a party. And Jane, you are planning a heist. Tell me
Sure
what
I am.
kind. Tell me what kind.
What kind of heist I'm planning today?
Yeah.
I'm planning on stealing the best possible foods from the best possible chef in the city at the best possible party.
Fantastic. Perfect. So let me do. It's whatever. 1 second. Yeah. Tell me what that looks like. What Jane's planning looks like for everyone. To imagine it like we're seeing a glimpse of her. Describe her a little bit, by the way, for those who don't remember what she looks like.
So Jane looks like a Mao cat, like silver fur with like black kind of like tiger stripes on it. And on like more closer to her head, it's more like stripes, and on her back, it's kind of turns into almost like leopard spots and stuff. But she wears a dirty brown like blazer jacket and some like khaki pants. She doesn't wear shoes. She just has her cat paws, and she doesn't wear gloves or anything. She runs around with her little black squirrel friend named Panda. He's a black squirrel, but he's got a white underbelly. His name's Panda. And together they steal stuff in the city. Typical heist for her would entail some scouting out first. She probably would have, listened in on conversations of nobles and stuff, and for weeks before this whole charade, and then she would have tried to find out where a party was, and then she would have started scouting out that property, try to find whoever was planning the party, and then find out who the chef is and where they'd be cooking, kind of find the kitchen. And then the day of the
Fine.
party, she would already had a path planned to go to the kitchen, steal some good food, and get out.
Perfect. So this time you are planning to rob the wonderful Avery Brooks, the second most renowned pastry chef in Silverkeep. She is working at a very public space, like closer to the town square, making these fantastic cakes and display, hired by the king himself to give everyone a good grand old time. And she's been working for weeks to get this all in order. And it's a very hectic day for her. She is a human woman with brown hair and what is it? Oh, she's got 7 piercings on all across her face. So 2 nose rings, 4 earrings, that's 6, and then 1 on her upper lip. She's very stylized, and she's been, like I said, working her tail end off for this. And I imagine we kind of like pan back to Jane recounting her scheme, her theft, or her heist to like Panda, like how in heist movies they always remember the plan, and that's what we're getting here as they're opening.
And Jane has like a torque around her neck that's like an Ouroboros, like a snake trying to like eat itself, kind of like a torque is sort of like a necklace, but it's like a solid single piece of braided metal.
Yep. So, give me a little bit of what Jane would recount to Panda as the plan for this heist. If you have any idea what you.
Yeah, so I'm thinking for this heist, I guess it would be at like a nobleman's estate or something, right?
No, it's in town square. Broad. It's the
So it's the
audacity
middle-
of it. Yeah,
middle of the day.
technically it's for everyone, but for Jane, I imagine she's like got to get first bite before anyone else does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. It's for everybody, but she probably would want to get into like the where they're bringing the pastries from. I think that what she would have done is she would have seen that they were bringing like the pastries to the square from like a kitchen, like on a cart or something, and like found the path that they were taking to bring the pastries here, and she would have intercepted them.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, that kind of a thing, and like maybe climbed onto the cart, pulled one of the trays off silently while it was moving, and then just
want you
into
to-
an alleyway.
I want you to roll me a stealth check with advantage.
All right.
First roll of the session.
I better be good.
First roll.
Double net ones.
Hey, 23.
Holy
so
shit.
the heist goes exactly as planned. You manage to sneak past some of the very busy workers. They don't even think twice about you, just by your posturing and hiding, just out of sight. You sneak in and you get a good hefty plate. Let me decide what pastries. So there are these fluffy croissants that are stuffed with some sort of. She doesn't know at the time until she bites into them, but they look juicy and they smell delicious. And it's probably the juiciest thing here that no one would notice is gone. And you get away with a whole platter of them just into the dark, disappearing. Nice. And as Jane is like hustling off into the dark alley, we pivot over to someone else who wants to go next as to their introduction for what they're doing this afternoon. Do.
I'm sorry.
No,
Oh.
Parrish.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was talking to Rev. Would you like to go next?
Yeah, I think. I honestly think that the main archway that enters into Silverkeep, is there a moat with like a drawbridge that goes over it? No,
There is
so it's
not.
just a main.
It's a very
It's
thick
just a-
but okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Okay,
there-
but it's open because there's stuff going on in the city, right? So I can march right into the city.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
angry.
Yeah, so a small, shorter than 3 foot tall gnome wearing brown robes with gold filigree trim is angrily marching down the street and enters into the city and walks up to the first guard he sees and asks, "Where do I find your superiors?"
The guard, who is like mostly just been watching people and keep tab, doesn't seem to like realize like who's that? What did you say, little guy?
Yeah,
and he, like,
I
he's
tug on his pant leg.
yeah, he crouches. You know the like arms on his knees, crouches a bit to try to like be eye level with you. Like, what'd you say?
Where do I find your superiors?
My superior. What for, little guy?
I have a complaint to file.
About?
Mine tree was burned down, and I believe there's some association.
He looks at you kind of in disbelief, like, did this? No, literally just is. He's processing it for a moment. He's like, okay. Do you have names, faces, anything of that sort?
Tiny idiots. I'm gonna walk away from this guy.
He looks at you walking away like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna. Does anyone appear to be of a higher rank than this guy?
Yes.
Looking nearby.
Not at the gates, but like walking further in, you see there is a patrol of knights keeping a very rowdy crowd who is like, they're getting handsy, and it's like a large man, about.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the knight that's in charge. He's probably like monitoring things or maybe giving out orders or something.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tap on his greaves with my fist, like
to
at the
describe,
door.
yeah, perfect, perfect. This man that you're approaching is dressed in the iconic silver and blue armor that the knights are known for, especially the honor bound. There are runes carved throughout them. They're given this kind of like faint glow that's very noticeable and it's part of the image, right? He's got long black hair. He's tied it up and he's like, yeah, huh? Yeah, hey, little guy. Making eye contact. He seems to have a very round face, smaller nose, and a little bit wide eyes. Like, huh? Yes, can I help you?
Yes, you seem to be something. I am looking for someone to talk to. My home was burnt down nearby, and I would like to file a complaint with the city.
How close by? And he like he takes a knee and he like looks at you like seriously. And do you have any names, anything of the sort that we could use to begin an investigation immediately?
I think can I pan the map back further? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That is all we can see on the current map. Yeah, I think the forests to the east
Over
of the
there?
Dead Mountains. Yeah. The forest deep in the forest, to the east of the Dead Mountains, north of Sudbury.
Ooh. And he like scratches his chin, like, this is troubling. Do you know who was responsible? Or
There was a band of bugbears and gnolls, but there was someone shouting to them in common, giving them instructions, I believe. I was only able to approach later. I'm fearing for my life.
You see this man take a look. He's like, well, it's great for your complaint. My name's Darren Lee. It's a pleasure to meet you. I will. Do you know anything else? I will take this to someone we can get a band of silver blades out as soon as late this evening. It's going to be a busy day, and we're short on numbers.
There was a sum of money that was taken. It is mine, and I will sure retrieve it.
Okay. That's noted. Anything else at all that we could use to take this
I
information?
think it would be pertinent to your understanding that if a rogue band of gnolls and bugbears had a large quantity of gold in their possession, they could wreak havoc in your lands. You may wish to take this a bit more seriously.
He looks at you. He's like, "Yeah, you've got a point. I'll go get some knights out as soon as we can. What was your name, sir?"
Dr. Oswald Steves. You may call me Doctor.
You see him pull out a small notebook and like scribble down very quickly all these things. He's like, "Thank you," and he motions to his man. He's like, "I'll be right back. Got a report." You know the drill. And he hustles off closer towards the center of camp.
As he goes away, I remind him, I will follow up.
And he gives you a thumbs up. He's like, "Got you." And he rushes off.
Nice.
Cool.
Perfect. And with that, we can follow the camera as Darren is like running through the streets, and we get a pivot to who wants to go next.
I think I'll go since what you said since you live near the forest near the Dead Mountains. I think that right after that you see a 7-foot tall half.
Yeah, we pan like as Darren runs past. It's like we get a vestige of Leo walking like into the streets out of a building. Like I said, description. What's he wearing? How's he looking?
Well, I think he's currently wearing, since I can't really I don't have the vocabulary to describe it, just look at the clothes.
the picture.
The picture.
So very nice long coat, button-up shirt, nice handkerchief.
The only thing is there are fucking gashes in it, and he looks tired. Like, he looks like he only slept like fucking like 3 hours.
In the last 2 days.
Fuck.
Yeah, exhausted. And Leo, you know that your band of your crew that you've been working with is like on the other end of town, working on getting all the final stuff. Because you went off here to
Donatello and
yeah, Mike, Donnie and Mike are like getting stuff ready for the departure. While you were off here talking to a local cleric about your little predicament.
Yeah.
His response, by the way, when you left, is "You're fucked."
Fucking A. I guess I'll go. I guess I'll just start walking around, probably searching for Donnie and Mike.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Fuck. I am.
You don't have to be good at it. You don't have to be good at it.
I know. It's funny because I am like tall as fuck, but I am horrible at perception. And I rolled an 18.
Nice.
Fuck it.
19. 19 minus 1. That's good. Oop. Rhythm just stopped working. And now I'm scared.
The bot died.
Yeah, it's dead.
Ooh.
Rest in peace, Rhythm. Rest in peace, Rhythm. What was I? Oh, yeah. So as you're looking around, you notice that, Leo, you notice a couple of things. First, there's this big crowd, like, getting ready, like, and you see there's this whole center plaza shit going on. You have no idea. Like, you really haven't kept up with the local news. It's more been about, gotta get home, gotta survive.
I personally think like he's been in the Dead Mountains for like months, and I think after what
Like,
happened,
the
he's
fuck is
just
going on?
he's like, what in the fuck is happening here? Fucking A.
There's a big cake. There's all sorts of pastries laid out. It smells delicious. But that's the first thing he notices, right? The second thing he notices is, like, you've been to Silver Keep once or twice. There's a weird amount of patrols going. Like, you're not used to seeing so many nights. Your first thought is maybe they're just managing for the celebration, but you get this kind of feeling, mostly from, like, it starts in your fingertips on your left hand, just kind of like squeeze, like an uneasy, like something feels weird, and then it just kind of fades away after a second. So yeah, and you notice that again. You see the shop in the distance through like a fucking huge crowd of people that Leo and Mikey were getting, or Donnie and Mikey were getting some gear for the horses and the wagon.
I think he's just gonna look to his hand and actually, I'm gonna just say this for future reference. When I don't speak in any accent, I'm speaking Orcish.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, you're not making this easy on me, are you? And fuck it, I'm going to Donnie and Mike.
Yeah. So like I said, there's this big crowd in the way. So you're like, yep, but hey, oop. Some people are pretty handsy. You're not sure if it's intentional or if you're just in the way. It's very, very much a disturbing kind of like thing. Like the walk is like, God, move.
Small people.
Tiny people, tiny people. And as you like kind of get to the shop, which is this nice little general store, run by it's called the Commons, and it is just a very small place with a bunch of different things. And you see Donnie and Mikey just kind of arguing with each other in like a corner, like you can see out the window. They're like, no, yes, and it's like this day couldn't get any worse.
Oh boy.
And I think we should pivot off of that as he's like meeting them.
You see them just give a face palm.
Who would like to go next? We got our two options with Radagast and Uman.
Do you want to save me for last? Because I think mine will probably be the least interesting.
All right. So Uman, you're walking into town after you've been on a walk here for a couple of days. It's a long trek, almost 2-ish weeks, and you've been using your wild shape here and there for a little bit of extra mobility and just keeping out of sight of most people. To most, it's probably a strange sight to see how you're dressed, but they don't seem to really care as much when you get past the guards.
Okay, I would say that like how he's dressed in the image I sent, it's not like how he's dressed right now. So like that would be how he would be dressed in his place back home. Yeah.
What is he got on now?
Okay. Just kind of simple clothing. He has like a fabric shirt that ties up like near the top with just little leather straps. A cloak, a heavy cloak to try to remain inconspicuous with a hood. And just like some leather boots, simple leather boots.
Perfect.
Yeah, nothing fancy. The only thing that kind of stands out, I would say is that he has
Bard box.
a bone necklace, like on his neck at all times. He has a bone necklace.
Yep.
Um,
Perfect. And so this is your first time seeing Silverkeep, and to describe it, because I realize I haven't described it, past the first gate, there are these thick walls of stone and metal that rise up like 30, 40 feet incrementally until you can't really see past them behind you. And in the center, there are tall buildings. It's like most of them are 2 stories or higher, and there's this like big open stone roads, lots of alleyways, very much a sprawling mass of people. And for Uma, this is probably the biggest place he has seen ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's more people than he's ever seen before in like one place. Just in the crowds, humming and buzzing and moving around very excitedly.
It's alive.
It lives.
Okay, Yuma's gonna try to look for like does the guards give him any trouble? He's entering the
No,
city, or...
they just kind of like look at you and go. You notice there's a lot of people coming in and out of the city.
Okay.
Very busy day.
Okay. I'm gonna try and look for a place to drink.
Yeah, perfect. Give me an investigation.
Okay. So investigation, right? What I'm
Mhm.
looking for it. Yeah. Did I do it? Okay, did. Yeah.
Yes, a 10.
10.
Okay, with a 10, you like a simple glance over, like reading the names of all these buildings, and it's a lot for Uman to take in. There's a lot of places he's not. It's weird. It's strange. But he finds a place called the Rhyme and Grime, and he can smell the alcohol from out here. So it's like he knows immediately. That's probably a good spot, and you can hear inside like roarish cheering and like the clinking of glasses, and it's getting a bit rowdy in there.
Okay. If I go in, can I look for like the quietest spot, like, maybe in a
Absolutely.
corner, just
Yeah.
out of the way a little bit.
Perfect. Yeah, you enter, you get, what do you get to drink? They have like rougher, watered down beer, expensive wines, a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay. So I'm gonna sit in the table that I looked for, pretty far from everybody, and I'm gonna go barmaid, like looking for the nearest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A younger man dressed in a
Okay.
very rundown suit is like, can I help you?
Yeah. What's your cheapest beer, man?
2 copper.
All right. That works for me. Can you bring me 2 of them, please?
Yeah. And he like holds out a hand for the 4 copper.
Yeah. I give him the 4 copper.
He like, you see him do a little bit of a trick with him, like line him up, toss him in his pocket, in his little bag he has on his side, and he just hustles off real quick. And literally, it's surprisingly fast service. It's like boom, two glasses, spit,
Okay.
rolled in, and just hand it to you. And he, have a good evening.
Much appreciated. And I'm just gonna sit drinking by myself
Perfect.
for a little bit.
And I like to think it's like a window seat, so he gets to see outside.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we pivot over to Radagast. And Radagast, today has not been the worst day. It's a pretty good day, honestly, considering. Like, you had, like, it's the best day in a while. You are finally here on your own. There's a bunch of people crowding about, and there's no one really watching over your shoulder. It feels like you are on your own for the first time in quite some time as you're carting your goods.
Am I taking them to like
Yeah,
a central square
to-
right now?
You're essentially you're delivering a couple of like bits of weaponry and gear to the local smith, who is like past the central, closer towards the keep, in the back end.
Yeah, I think that Radagast is probably feeling, he's like excited to be in Silverkeep, because he doesn't really get to go out much. But at the same time, I think he's kind of bummed that he has to be here, not for something that he wants to be here for. So he's probably, as he's like driving this cart, probably manned by like one sad donkey who,
Yeah, very
very sad.
sad.
Matilda is her name. Old. Sad donkey. I think that he's trying not to draw any attention to himself or like look conspicuous in any way. He's just trying to like keep like a low profile and get all this stuff done so he can retreat back to wherever he gets to sleep for tonight.
Perfect. And as you're moving your cart through the streets, you start getting past where most of the activity is in the Citrus Square, and you're like going back alleys, and like a little bit off to the side where very few people are, and you hear a clunk clunk of metal. Some knights are like you see them dragging some stuff to the side, like a big trash bag, and tossing it, and they just kind of look at you and they move out of the way. Not really disdainfully, like, huh, who's this? They're two very tall humans, both of them dressed in silver and blue, looking at you kind of like eyebrows raised, like, huh?
I'd probably like nod or something, but like in like a way that's like I'm not really paying attention to what they're doing, but like I would just like to get past.
They're dressed in silver and blue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
silver blades.
Can
the
I
Silver
see?
Blades are not dressed in silver. Well, they're both dressed in silver and blue, but they have different iconography on their banners.
So they're not silver blades.
Silver blades are like
No, they're honor blades or
Can I-
honor bound.
honor guard.
Can
honor
I
guard, yeah.
can I roll a perception to see if I can make anything out about the thing that they were moving?
Yeah. Feel free.
22.
Okay, so you've carried a lot of things in your life, and one
Mostly
thing you
guilt.
know very well is when someone's disposing of something that they should not have gotten rid of, they walk a certain way, they act a certain way. There's a bit of a natural inclination that people have to act suspicious, and like these guys are doing something shady, and like that's the first instinct that you get and notice from just their body movements. So you kind of like eyes to the bag, and it's like you remember hearing clink a little bit, like with glass bottles, as they moved it to the side. They sounded like they were filled with a liquid. You've moved very few of those before, but it gives you it's a churning in your stomach of why are these people who are supposed to protect us acting so fucking shady?
I hate that. I think Radagast is like he's feeling pretty afraid right now because he does not want to get mixed up in anything that he doesn't have to get mixed up in. I'm
Are
pretty
you
sure.
hiding that from your expression?
I think that I think Radagast would probably look pretty nervous.
Okay.
That perception, would he see a 7-foot tall half orc?
No, because you are somewhere else in the city. Yeah, and they kind of look at you like, "What you looking at, kid?"
Nothing, sir. Nothing. I'm just passing by. Just passing by.
Okay, get moving.
Although even if I was right next to him, I rolled a 23 with stealth, so his 22 perception still wouldn't see me.
No, Jane, you're in a different place, and we'll get back.
No, I know. I'm saying. That's why I said even if I was.
I think Radagast is gonna hurry away, but keep in mind that he saw something kind of shady, so maybe he doesn't come back through this way later on.
So you get your cart all the way to just about the edge of the smith's place, and you hear a clank clank and some talking, and just out of the edge of your vision, you see more honor bounds talking to the smith, and you see a couple of them are picking up their weapons, and again, it's that same churning from earlier. It just hasn't left you, and there's a whisper you hear. It's like, shh, stop, shh. From the shadows to the side of this alleyway that you're walking through or riding through.
I probably say to the shadows without looking at them, what?
Stop.
I stop immediately.
And so they're just it like slows down a bit. So get out of the wagon. And now that you're out and like looking at this person, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the natural reaction is to turn to them. You see they are a masked figure with kind of a little bit of a demon mask, and they've got this brilliant green outfit, and they're like hidden in a shadowy cloak. And it's like, look,
I don't want any
You're
drugs.
what?
I don't want any
Look.
cocaine.
Look, now, I want you to roll me a religion. You see a necklace on this. That
A
he's wearing.
religion check?
Mhm.
I have 0 religion.
That's fine. Yeah, you have no idea what that symbol that he's wearing means. And he's like, look, you're going to deliver those weapons over, right?
That's my job.
You see him like reach.
Sir.
You see that on his hilt there's a kind of, or on his waist is a hilt for a blade. He's like, get out of the wagon. Go back to wherever you came from.
I
Go.
can I yell for the guards?
Yes, you can.
I yell for the guards.
And he's like, shit, you're a dumbass. And you see him like kind of like step, 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 and you hear a quiet prayer is like, let the dark guide me. And he disappears
I'm
into the shadow.
Oh god, I'm gonna look like a real ass in front of these guards.
And you see one of the honor blades from down that honor bound from down that alleyway you were passing, like hustle up, and one from the shop come in, and it's like, "What's up? Hey, you all right?"
Yeah, I think so. I think some guy was trying to mug me. He went into the shadows.
Roll me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Oof. No.
9.
No,
No.
yeah. They both look at you. He's like, "Look, if you want attention, this isn't how you get it, kid." And they look at the car. It's like, "Oh, you got our stuff.
Yes.
Pretty nice. We'll take it the rest of the way. You can go home."
All right. Well, thank you. Bye.
And you see them start moving the vehicle.
I think I'm
forward.
moving very nervously.
Mhm.
I don't like
Walking.
anything that's been going on at all. So I think that I'm pretty cautious right now for anything crazy happening.
Yeah. And as you're like walking through and leaving, you see the two knights are like chuckling with each other, and they're just dragging your stuff away. And you realize, without that cart, you're probably not going to get the money that you're supposed to, and it's like a big
See the guards.
pitfall.
Oh shit.
Fucking guards. Fucking guards.
I'm probably like, I want to go and get the card back, but at the same time, I think Radagast would be too nervous to say anything to the guards.
Cool.
And now he's gonna freak out quietly to himself.
Perfect. And then we'll pivot over back to Jane here in this. So Jane, you got your high successful. You're on a rooftop, eating away, looking over the city. I want you to roll me a perception.
Okay. Oh god.
These croissants are the fucking.
I'm eating croissants. Leave me alone.
So good, so fresh, so warm. It's the best.
Like maybe
food
some
we've
like
had all
ham
month.
cheese croissants.
It's so good, so warm. It's been a while since you had a meal this good, and Panda could just squeaks
Yeah,
a bit. He's like, huh?
Crappy foods between festivals.
Yeah. Do you give Panda some croissant? Give him a little chunk.
Yeah, of course.
And it kind of
He loves
it's his favorite. You're gonna make me drop my croissant.
digging it. Stop! I could
Yeah, and
How many croissants did she get?
like a good, like
tray?
half a dozen.
In terms of croissants, we have none.
So she eats like at least an entire one herself, like 1.5, and then gives half to Panda, and then keeps like 4.
Yeah.
Like
Throw it away.
kind of like. Hopefully she would have
Put
taken
them back
like
in
they were in
trash.
like a little cloth
to
of
wrap
some
'em up.
kind with them that
Yep.
she could have just tied them up in and put them in her bag.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then she just has 4 in her bag.
We also now have a very expensive looking plate.
Does it like look silver?
Yeah,
or
so
something,
it's
maybe?
got some gold embroidery.
Pewter,
It's
maybe?
very.
Something
It looks like
good.
something she's stolen and can sell for a good.
All right, yeah. She knows she can sell this. All right, she's gonna sell it. She knows who she can sell this to. She's probably gonna move towards that.
So is that like her first instinct is immediately get profit off of it after she's in.
Well, she might try to move through part of the town too and get some free food
Okay, on the way there. Perfect.
on the way there. Yeah. So she's putting on her like innocent
Cat. I did no crime.
cat girl. I don't steal stuff. You can't see any weapons.
Perfect.
Look, and then she's walking through town.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Oswald, what are you doing now that your request has been at least formally added?
Have they formed into a group to go and investigate?
You know that the knight went to the keep and has not returned yet. It's only
He has
been
not.
yeah, not 20. It's like 20, 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So while I wait to see whatever activity comes about from all this, I want to observe the area around me and try and take in what's going on. Are any of the other player characters in view?
Give me an investigation first, and then we'll talk that in just a second.
Investigation it is.
Ooh.
Okay, with a 16. So you notice people that look out of place, or at least in your head, are like, these are the people who seem weirdest or don't belong. Like, there's a bunch of people who look like they belong, right? Like, there's presents, everyone's living their lives, but there are notable people among the crowd in the sense that they're dressed differently, and they look like they're not really too into the celebrations. The first thing you notice in the distance by a pretty roughed up looking common shop, where it's like general store, is like, that's pretty, like, you wouldn't go there to get reliable goods. You see this tall half orc is trying to split up an argument. Face palming, trying to break up an argument between his two companions, who it doesn't seem important at all for anything, but they're arguing. Through the crowds, you notice there's definitely something moving beneath the feet of people as they're like, hey, and you can see like a kind of wave of the crowd. And those are the first couple of things you notice out in the streets as you're getting on them.
Okay, so you said I noticed something moving in the crowd that's disturbing them, but I can't tell what it is, right?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of feet in the way.
Okay, all right, but it's not noticeable.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
so
yeah,
I want
no
problems.
like it's there, but you can't see it.
okay, I want to keep an eye on the orc's little conversation there, and move into the crowd to investigate what's moving around while I'm doing that.
Oswald, you're more politely, or are you storming your way through?
No, I'm being aware, so I'm moving slowly and trying to take in the situation.
Yeah, be undetected.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. So you come across this small, like, you're moving through the crowds, and you're like at the other end of where she's moving. You see the small Felix kind of like munching on food that she got off a table real nearby, and it's like hustling in the general direction of that store you saw earlier.
Okay. Yeah. It's daytime now though, but there's a lot of activity. And there's awnings and things like that, so there should be some shadows.
Yeah.
I want to stealth and follow the cat and observe.
Perfect. Roll me stealth. You're hiding through the people since you know. Oh, perfect.
Holy shit!
That's good. That's good. So we're gonna pivot over.
Didn't know we had two rogues.
We're gonna pivot over to Leo. They're arguing about whether or not they should buy twice as many rations as they did last time. And this argument is one that comes up regularly because it's like, dude, I don't want to be eating the same jerky. We should buy different varieties. It's like, it's the same, more affordable price. What do you mean you want different jerky? That's the kind of argument that this is. And they've been going in circles for at least 20 minutes now, and it's like giving you a headache.
I've already.
And you were saved by a little bell as a customer comes in. It's a small Felix. It's a small Felix munching on some food. Jane, this shop is a place for one of your local fences that you know. His name is Mugwe, and he's a very reliable dude. He's very chill. Very fair and chill. And he's generally just vibing behind the counter. Between the rows, you see this tall half orc just looking like he's in agony between these two idiots arguing about rations.
Fucking it, Donnie, Mike, why? Why must you fucking do this to me again? I mean, we just we just came back from fucking Dead Mounds. I got a couple crossbows to the chest and got Jack.
Yeah, but look, you can survive crossbow. Like, healing potions are out of the question. We're not gonna spend our budget on that when we can have good food. That's what really matters, Leo. Good food, so we're not starving.
Survival matters.
Like, seriously, we do need band-aids. But the food, Mikey.
Listen, I'm not fucking having this. Not today. This has been like the fucking fifth time that you two are having this conversation. It's
Over by the counter, you hear him go, "Are you done fighting over there? Are you gonna buy anything, or are you gonna leave?" He seems to be eyeing you, Jane, as you're like approaching.
Okay. So give me 1 second.
would I see the fucking small?
Yeah, you would have seen it at the edge of your vision.
Would I know what the fuck it is, or
You would know what a felis is. Yes, you've seen
Okay.
them once or twice.
oh shit, they're not.
They're not very
rare,
common.
right?
They're not very common, no. Not
Okay.
in these parts, anyway.
I mean, if you look
So-
if you look at the half orc, you kind of see him look quizzically. You can roll an insight if you
So
want.
his name is Mugwe, right? The guy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I would look at the half orc and what are his two friends look like? Are they both orcs too?
Human and half elf. Yeah,
Human and half elf.
they're
Okay.
nerds.
I would definitely look at them, but I'm putting myself in Jane's head, and I don't think she'd be super concerned with them at the time. She'd probably just go straight to Mugwe and just say, "Mugwe, I've got some stuffing for you." Just some
What kind?
like thieves'
He like
stuff.
yeah, he looks at you like, what kind? And he like motions for you to like. There's a little stool that he has set to the side for you, like on the side of the counter.
I would just say it's probably still too hot to show in public.
Yeah. Okay. Bag drop off.
Like whisper
Yeah,
that to him real
yeah,
quiet.
there's this usual bag drop off that you could just like drop your bag like on the other side of the counter.
I'll just slide the plate
Mhm,
into it.
yep.
You know, like
He looks at it.
just like reach my hand around, slide.
He looks at it, kind of like, all right, I'll see what I can do. And he like just whisks it away. You've never been good at spotting out how Mugwe does this or how other fences do this, but they have this trick where it's like they take it, they get up, they go to the back, and then it's gone. It's nowhere in the stores. You try
Yeah,
looking.
she doesn't care as long as she gets paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Fences do their thing, you know.
And he comes back a moment later, and he's like over the counter. This is a good opportunity for Leo to do anything if he wants, because you guys see the worker walk into the back after speaking with Jane. And Oswald, this is a good opportunity for you to kind of like sneak in as you like carefully open the door so it doesn't ring the bell, and like just fit through.
I'll be.
Can I just? I always picture like the doors on a saloon in a Western movie where like they swing.
And he walks
Picture him like
underneath.
walking
And
right
everyone
underneath
looks
it.
over, and then like I said, like the normal, like pans over, and you see somebody, it pans over, and then it pans down.
And he just walks right underneath, like his little pointy hat, his little
Oh,
pointy
yeah.
hood just kind of gets knocked down a little bit as he walks underneath it. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, and then
You just
Yes,
see an half orc just absolutely in pain.
Yeah.
So where's the squirrel? Where's Panda?
Probably a top. Probably a top.
Panda's
green
like
path.
kind of like a dog following Jane. Like she's probably like a dog size to her. It's just following her.
It's your
A
faithful
dog
companion.
size.
It's sitting like on the counter, just
Yeah.
relaxing,
Okay.
vibing.
So I look at the squirrel, and because I'm a gnome, through sounds and gestures, I can communicate simple ideas with smaller beasts. So I
Yeah.
can talk to squirrels,
Yes, you can.
as much as a squirrel can really understand.
Tiny
kinda
peanut
clever.
butter.
So I'm just going to do the little shh thing with and like cover my lips and tell him that I'm a friend and wink at it.
He kind of looks at you, and then he just seems to understand that, and he just lays back on the counter, so his like hind legs are like he's stretching on the counter, just relaxing.
He's been to Mugwe's a few times.
And he's vibing. His favorite.
I'm gonna roll intimidation to make these two fuckers shut up.
I imagine Mugwe might have like set like a nut or two on the counter, like knowing that
Okay,
Panda
that's
would be
perfect.
there, you know, like a walnut, you know, and Panda's just kind of cracking this walnut.
So with that
open.
nat one on the intimidation layout, you kind of give him the Hagler like just shut the fuck up, you two idiots, or however he phrases it, and they just kind of look at him and is like, no, this is so important, you don't understand,
How the
Leo, and they
fuck
both
is
turn
this
on you.
How the fuck is this important?
It defines our next couple of months of travel. That's how it's important, Leo.
Okay. So I'm going to cast prestidigitation
Uh-huh.
and I want to make a tiny handbell appear in the air and ring 3 times really quick to get their attention.
Isn't
Ding,
that
ding,
more
ding.
minor
And
illusion?
they just kind of like pointing at Leon. They're like, "What? What was that?"
Jane hides behind the counter and then peeks over.
I'm instinctually looking down, so I think I see you.
Yeah. They're, Donnie and Mike are
Yeah,
like,
you just look at the bell, right? Yeah, so I tug your pant leg.
Yeah.
It seems you are having some sort of problem here.
Well, yes. You see, these two fucking idiots.
"We're
are
not
fighting-
idiots."
Yes, you fucking are. Are fighting about.
I understand. Your issue here is the aggression. You have anger management issues, yeah? All of you need to calm down and breathe
That's racist.
slowly. And
see-
we'll
you see-
discuss your...
You see Mikey cross his arms, and Donnie's like, "Fine." And
Very
I'm just
good,
like,
yeah,
"Are you-
yeah.
You're
You-
taking
you-
the gnome. You're doing the breathing exercise because the gnome told you to. Yeah, and I'm feeling a lot more relaxed. Donnie,
I'm
chilling.
out more
You-
now.
You immediately just see the half orc just has like, looks like he hasn't slept. Basically, hasn't slept. It looks like absolute shit. Like his suit got like fucking gashes in it from like
Mm,
crossbow
yeah.
bolts.
And for Donnie and Mikey, their suits are more. They're these loose kind of adventuring clothes, where it's like thick jackets and like loose shirts, and they have scratches and marks, and they're not exactly high quality anymore.
Can I say that at this point, now that they've gotten Jane's attention, I think at this point she hadn't really noticed the rest of the group too much until now.
Mhm.
With the bell thing, she's smelling them a lot. Like she smells some magic now in the room. Like she's paying attention and she's like, okay, and she's crawling a little closer,
what-
like low to the ground.
I roll
like on all
perception?
fours.
You
I
can.
think- I think you'd immediately just smell the ominous crypt. Smell
Ominous dust.
No, I don't see it.
Oof.
Yeah, no, you're too busy keeping them from clawing at each other.
If you want to roll insight on Leo, you can.
She's just crawling towards
Just-
them
just-
like a
just
stalking
as
cat,
his
like on
general
all fours.
disposition.
And then you
Just smelling.
you hear the door of Mugway open, and he's like, "Jane," and he tosses a gold coin at you. Just like,
She
"Phoom."
snaps back and catches it like reactively.
And he's like,
I would notice this, right?
yeah, it's very.
This was happening. Okay, no, that's interesting. Very interesting.
That is not the
Anyway,
same
it appears like Leo's the one who's in charge of this little merry band of orcs, right?
It's not.
They're half. It's half elf and a human. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
It's a
You guys
human
are
and a half
talking-
elf. Human and a half elf.
A human and a half elf, and he's the half orc.
Yeah.
But he seems to be the one in charge, right? Or the one who's
He's the-
kinda handling-
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm the one with the
Good.
greatest aneurysm at the moment.
So I want to talk to Leo aside. Can I talk to you aside? Maybe speak in private.
Well, of course. Anything better than hearing these two bigger more?
And the cat, perhaps you would like to speak to me as well.
She looks behind her like for another cat, and then looks back at him like realizing he's
matching
talking about
that-
her.
Matching that motion, Panda, like when he says the cat, Panda like looks both ways, and then like as Jane's looking back, he points at you like, "That's you."
She's like, she points at herself, looking at Panda like me, and he nods up and down, and she just looks back at you like,
Fucking amazing.
yeah, I guess so.
I thank
She
the
crawls
squirrel.
in a little closer, and she's just like,
The squirrel gives you a paw up.
she's trying to like kind of sneakily smell them now. She's like taking a big whiff, but she's not trying to seem like she is.
And Mugway gives
I stick my hands out towards you so you can smell my palms.
Smells them. She doesn't.
Like you ever do that when you greet a dog? Or a cat? If they smell your hands, it's like that's the way you're supposed to like greet a cat or a dog. Is to let them smell your hands.
Smell
Get your
good.
scent.
She likes it.
All right, cool.
You probably
So,
noticed
yeah,
that her tail was like really rigid until she started smelling your hands, and then it just started flowing. You know, kind of like a
Nice.
typical cat tail, kind of like
Oh.
not wagging, but it's just flowing again.
So can we sit down, or what's the situation, Mr.
Yeah,
DM?
there's a couple of seats to the side. It's
Okay.
mostly a walk-in general store to pick stuff up or tell Mugway what you need and get an order. filled in.
Leoshi's gonna go like, so I haven't seen a lot of you, but Felis. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
haven't.
Perhaps now is not the time to study Zakat. Yeah, we will make these introductions. All right, so I think we can introduce ourselves, right? Like we've all kind of gone through who we are
Yeah.
already at this point, anyway. And then I would like to explain the story. You guys are caught up on the whole thing about my tree being burned down and they stole my gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna explain that in character to them, just in the interest of not going over all that again.
Uh, and I think
And then I would like to recruit them to assist me in acquiring my gold because I don't trust these knights are going to get a whole lot done.
okay.
Well,
And with like the recap, we'll get back to their answer in a bit. We pivot back over to you,
Cool.
Uman. You're having a good drink, having a good time, and you're like looking out the window, and you can hear like bells ringing. And there's a toll, and it sounds like the celebration's gonna get on in full. And it kind of like feels like you want to see more, but you can't because there's a window in the way.
Okay. Does Human know what the celebration is about, or he doesn't know?
No, he wouldn't
anything
know.
about it.
Jane knows.
Okay.
If they asked, she would be able to tell.
Yeah, but Uman
Uh,
is.
Oh yeah, Uman.
Oman is gonna call the barmaid again. Barmaid.
The same dude comes back. He's like, yes.
Yeah.
how
Hey,
can I help
Mr.
you?
Mr. Barmaid. From what I can see, there is a celebration in Orda in this town. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the birthday of the new era. Look, it's a busy day. Was that all, sir?
One other thing, Mr. Barmaid, and you can go back to your work. Do you know of any place in town where a man can, as like me, can get, a little bit of coin, a little bit of job?
If you go out down the street, there should be one or two boards by the guard keeps that like having their wanted posters. You can also ask any of the local patrols. It's the typical answer. Have a good day, sir. And you see someone else is like waving, like barmaid, and he's like,
Okay. Okay.
Squidward.
I'm gonna leave another copper in the table, and I'm gonna walk out of the bar.
you see a different barmaid take the copper.
Okay. Yeah.
It's our knock life, man.
Yeah. And at this point, Umon is pretty hungry, so he's gonna look for like somewhere to eat, somewhere to buy some fruit, maybe some
Yeah.
vegetables.
You see in the main central plaza where all those people are getting gathered that this large banquet is being like open to people, and there's this long line of people going food, 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 and like there's a little bit of a chant going, and people patiently waiting for their food. The only
Okay.
reason it's being organized is because you see like several large men in heavy-looking armor. You've never seen this kind of armor before. Silver and blue, engraved with all sorts of runes and a symbol you don't recognize. Standing like at attention as like people are leaving. At the front of the line, you see one of those men dressed in that same outfit with long blonde hair and tied up in a ponytail. He gives you this smug aura as he's like talking to someone at the front and like getting some of the best food
I
first.
cast Eldritch Blast on them.
Okay. Umo's gonna make his way to the back of the line, trying to keep his distance with these armored individuals.
Cool. And with that, I think we'll pivot over to Radagast as you're like kind of making your way through out of the alleyways back onto the main
Can
streets.
I-
You see that the
Can I
banquet
say?
has opened.
I think that Radagast would be kind of freaking out right now because that's like it didn't dawn on him immediately that he would need the money from delivering that. Can I say that he goes back?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Or fucking Radagast.
So,
I think
Oh my
he
God.
like is like running his hands through his hair. He looks like he might cry. And he's like obviously like he did not think this through. Why did he hand the card over? And I think he's gonna try and go back just to the blacksmith and like explain everything.
yeah. Okay, that's so funny.
Oh my
So
God.
Radagast, as he kind of like shimmy your way to the front, and you like open the door. You see a green cloak, and you hear a shink, and you hear a thud as the body hits the ground. In front of you, you just witnessed, like you just walked in on a
gosh.
murder, and it's a same cloak
Oh
figure,
God.
and like with that big mask, like why the fuck? I told you to get the fuck out. The voice crack. He's like, get the fuck out. And you see him like flip over the blacksmith. Like, what the hell are you here for anyway? As he like, you see him like open the blacksmith's chest with his blade. You notice it is a thin, long sword attached to something you don't quite understand as a hilt, and he's like tearing this man's chest open. He's like, "What?" And he's doing it very casually, by the way.
I think Radagast first definitely throws up. He is not
As he's
used to
throwing up,
this
he's
level
like,
of.
"Don't make a mess all over the place."
You just killed that man.
Yeah, you see him reach in and pull the dude's heart out, and he
What
pulls
the-
a small silver ring that was on one of the arteries, and he crushes the heart. He's like, "Knew it." What? What do you mean? I'm doing my job. Relax.
I think
Fucking
Radagast truly is in
peasants.
shock and cannot. I don't think I would be able to say anything. I think
Yeah,
that
he's just like,
his brain has shut down.
Yeah.
That's
And then
it.
you see him like look at you, and it's like fucking peasants. And he kicks over one of the cabinets, and you hear a clatter of gold, and you see him scoop it up, and he tosses a bag of gold at you. You didn't see anything.
I don't say anything. The completely blank expression. I turn around and I think I leave the store. And as soon as I'm outside, I think Radagast starts running. And
I
maybe
think you're
probably
supposed to take the gold when a criminal throws gold to you. It's like a contract that you're not supposed to speak. So
yeah, I definitely think Radagast is running away and crying and probably looking
Not
for somewhere to like hide or something. Like I can't imagine. I mean, he's just panicked. Like he doesn't. His brain has
Yeah.
completely shut down. What was
Oh
supposed
my
to be like a chore is now he has accomplished a murder.
Radagast is such a precious baby.
he's not having a good day. And then we cut back over as Radagast. You're like,
I don't think he's screaming. I think it's like the
hustling through an
silent.
alleyway.
It's like a silent panic where he is
It's
just
the,
like.
you know the meme of internally.
Yeah, that's exactly how Radagast feels right now.
Perfect. So as you're kind of like running through the alleyways looking for a place to hide, he's like, today couldn't get any worse, right? And then we cut back over to you guys at the shop. Well,
So where is this happening in relation to us?
it's far out of the way. It's the murder happened much closer to the capital keep, where it's
Plus,
like
we have no idea any of this is happening.
Nope.
We do
There's
not
no
see
commotion or anything like that.
Nope.
Yeah, so I'm recruiting them to help me retrieve my lost wealth.
Well, you see, there's a little problem here, and that is that I actually want to go back to Wilsden, if you're okay with that, since I have some important personal matters that I have to do that, and then if it's still open, I'm still open to help.
Are these personal matters more important than personal wealth, in your opinion?
He scratches the back of his neck where those tattoos also are. And he's like,
You get the tingling feeling.
oh, fuck you. He's like, yes.
Oh, by the way, Leo, roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, fuck me.
So
No, thank
A
you.
wisdom save?
A wisdom save.
Do you want to kill me?
No, I'm not gonna kill you.
Oh, no.
Jane would be
Yeah.
really like
I
just
just
thrown off by someone asking her to do something outside the city, like,
11?
really far outside the city.
I have a
Cool.
question. Would Radagast
So-
have taken note of the ring that was on the artery, or do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he would probably. It would probably be one of those like this image is burned into my mind.
Okay, perfect. I just want to put that in my notes to make sure.
For
I would-
you. Oh, yeah. One quick, Leo. You get like as they're talking, and you're like, personal matters are more important. And after you scratch, there's this chilling. Again, it's same from earlier, like a down the spine, like bad weather, kind of like something. It does not feel good. It's a very chilling sensation, and it takes you from him, and you're like kind of shocked and like reeling from it. and it feels very off-putting.
Mind if I
And-
roll a deception check?
Yes, you may.
Fuck.
And no, you guys just see him shiver and like look dumbfounded for a couple seconds. And
Okay, so as the cat seems reluctant at the idea of leaving the city, I look at her and smile
Sorry about that.
and say, "I've never known a cat not to like the trees. Yeah, it is a home to you. You will understand."
There's trees here. They're on the sides of the road. every
You will
30
see
feet
in
or
the
so.
forest. In the forest, there are new adventures to be had.
There's a
New
park
things
by
to
the
see.
castle. There's more trees there.
But don't you have to attend to your curiosity, Mrs. Cat?
I mean,
Curiosity
most of the
can be a
buildings
dangerous thing.
here are made of wood, which is dead trees.
And what about gold?
I like gold.
Ah, do you like lots of gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And your squirrel? I speak to the squirrel. I ask the squirrel if the squirrel would like to accompany me as well.
it looks at you and it sniffs. It's like, and you can tell it's hungry.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna pull out. I mean, I don't have anything more than dry rations, but I'd be happy to flip him a piece of bread or something like that.
Yeah, you toss him it and it go. And for reference, he already just had a nut that Mugwai gave.
He just goes.
He just had half a croissant, a walnut.
Jesus,
and
what a
the
fat ass.
Dry rations. and
He's a
just
very
tiny
fat
small.
cat, or very fat squirrel. He's a chunky boy.
You can see Leo looking at
This chunk.
looking
Yeah,
perplexed.
that's
Like,
good.
how the fuck?
So we take the group to.
He doesn't like gold, just food.
So we take the group to Wilsten. We go to Wilsten, and then from there we head back to the forest. It's good, yeah. We must go. We must make haste.
You see Mikey and Donnie's like, are you planning on leaving? Okay, we'll get the rations settled, I guess.
She
You
still
know, they get
hesitates.
normal ones this time.
She's like, wait, like now, today?
Well,
I mean, that's when we're leaving.
I gotta.
Yeah. Well,
we gotta stop by the library in town real quick.
oh, you like books?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
that is good.
He
They have
pulls
literature
out-
on the Arcana. at
you
this
don't know
library.
how, but he pulls out this
they do
huge
have some of
fucking
that.
book, and it just said cash. What was the title?
Dummy's Guide to Exploration and Traps.
No, I think he'd had like a big ass fucking tome of just like occult lore with him.
Oh yeah, Dummy's Guide to the Occult. And
I like some reading myself as well.
Okay, so we can stop by the library on
Well,
the way.
Yeah, let's go by the
On the way
library,
out of town to Wilson. That's fine.
and then let me try
And
this.
I'll get some rations too. I guess. since
I'm
we're here, I
gonna
can
go
pick
look
up
to
the-
my two dumbasses and
Yeah.
be like, please, for
we'll
the
see
love
you
of
at the East Gate then.
just get rations.
Yeah, we got it. We got it handled. Trust us,
Like some
Leo.
dumbasses.
Worst case, we do a 50-50 split, okay?
Deal. And you see Donnie go, we're not starting this up again. We agreed. And you see Mikey like, okay. Fine, we'll work it out. Or yeah, you go. Go, you got a new job offer, right? For all of us. Wink, wink, wink. So
Yeah,
Get it.
sure.
get a handle. See you around, Leo. Yeah, see you around.
All right.
Leo.
Let's hope nobody dies.
Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
DM.
All right,
I have a
so we'll make our way
question for
to
you.
the library then.
Yeah, we'll make
with
our
the
way
cat.
to the library.
What were you saying, Jane?
I have a question just for you. Like, kind of, would Jane know a connection with the the Thieves Guild in town that she could notify that she's leaving town to?
Probably
real quick?
Mugwai is the
And-
closest in that regard.
Okay, well then before we leave, she's gonna go to Mugwai and tell Mugwai that she might be heading out of town for a bit, and and she's gonna ask who someone good to reach out to in Willesden and Seabury would be.
Wait,
He-
are
he
you?
like-
Sorry, quick question. is Jane using any thieves' cant or anything while she's talking to Mugwai?
He uses thieves can a lot, like on accident, just because she
Okay.
doesn't really know any better. So
And would Mugwai be doing it as well?
Yeah,
Kind of speaking the same jargon?
definitely.
Okay. So as part of my background, I mean, I have contacts.
Yeah. So
Saying-
you
I
yeah,
think I
you
would have tried to like I
Be
would have
subtle
tried
about
to
it,
say like I'll be right back though, and like have you guys stay at the table and then go and pull
Yeah,
him
yeah,
like into the back though, and like not be
Yeah,
near you.
No, that's fine. So he gives you like a little list of names and a rolled up paper. He's like, "These are some good fences around the places. Good luck out there."
Is he concerned at all that I'm leaving the city? Or is
He looks at you and he's like, "Good luck."
okay.
Sorry, the point I was
Well,
trying to make isn't that I'm trying to like horn in on
Yeah,
what Jane's
Yeah, no.
trying to do and
Oh,
get
no.
involved in that.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that it occurs to me that if there's a criminal organization around me,
You would
I should
know.
probably
No, you knew.
get-
You knew. Yeah, you figured
put
it
some-
out.
What you might have
What I-
done though, what I imagine though is that Mugwai's shop might have had like some sort of
Yeah.
etching
Mhm.
on the door.
trying to get
or
to
by
that,
the
yeah.
front of it somewhere that would that would have
Yeah.
been like you would have known he's a fence.
It's pretty easy
So
to pick up.
right.
It's
So
in one of the posters on the wall.
It's just one of a fence.
what I'm trying to say is that recognizing this, I would like to try to use the organization to also put feelers out as to who the gnolls and bugbears are that burned down
Got
my
it.
forest.
Cool. Yeah. So after Jane like leaves, you come up to Mugwai and he's like, "Can I help you, little guy? I'm looking for anything in a business."
Yeah, I'm gonna explain to them the situation with the tree and everything like that.
Sounds like someone put a strange. Didn't hear anything about any. At the very least, this isn't a local request. If it makes you feel any more confident in your search.
The funny thing is, no one knew that it was there.
Well, somebody did.
And I'm gonna take note of the fact that that Jane was talking to this guy in secret.
Yep.
As well.
And
Would I have heard? Would I have been there still with Mugwai? Like, did he come up as we were walking back out?
yeah, probably.
I'm not trying to hide anything either. So
Yeah.
as far as you're concerned right now,
Then I probably
actually
would
trying
have
to
told
include you.
Mugwai, I would have been like, hey, like, if you do know anything about this at all, I'd really appreciate it if you passed on some information in any way. Anything strange you've heard from the woods to the east of Seabury.
Nothing so far. At least from the guilds out there.
All right.
I will.
I
we'll
trust,
thank him.
Doc.
I'd like to tip him on top of the rations. I'm gonna take extra gold out when I do this.
Okay, thank you very much. And he's very pleased with the tip, and he like pockets it. And you guys head on to the street, and then we pivot back to Uman, who it's been like 20 minutes, and you're finally at the front, and it was a long wait. Oh, there was a line split. You got lucky.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, you know those all you can eat buffets on like weekends when they have sales. That's what it's like.
Oh. Oh, so do they have to pay any gold or anything, or just
No. You're just gonna be at the front of the line so you can
Okay,
get
well, I love this city, and I'm gonna just start eating.
That's perfect.
Start
I love it.
devouring everything.
Yeah, just eating, just like trying to,
Go
eat as
to the
much as
bear
you
form.
can.
Yeah, cool. And as you're eating up, I think everybody, you guys were heading for the library, right?
Yeah.
We'll cut back over to Radagast.
Yeah,
You find a
we
nice
finished.
dark alley to cry in.
Let's
you
cut back
fool.
over to this guy. He's
Yeah,
crying in an alley.
It's literally, it's so funny because the people's, I love this city, and then we get over to Radagast.
Yeah.
I think that as I'm crying in the alley, I think I also realize that I cannot tell any guards about this because I have his gold.
Association.
Yeah,
But
you
the
are
gold
now
is-
the accomplice.
You are
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh no.
I don't know. I feel like besides panicking, I have no idea what Radagast would do right now. I think he would be trying to find somewhere like
Place to hide the gold.
well, yeah, like an
Something like
inconspicuous
that.
bar to lay low at or something.
Perfect. So as you're kind of like walking out into the streets. You're sneaking by, just like look normal, internal panic.
Can I actually?
you manage-
Can I, for flavor, roll a stealth check to see how sneaky I'm trying
Yeah.
to be?
Okay. Yeah, I was about to ask for one.
Oh,
Funnily enough.
perfect.
I honestly would love.
That's
Oh,
great.
Nat 20, just head down.
Oh man.
Today's been a bad day, and just disappear into the crowd.
I have
what
been
I would
chased
love
by a lot
is
of
if
bullies.
somebody were to do an insight check on you right now. They just get like, ah!
This guy has had a bad fucking day.
Yeah, and as you're sneaking towards like the other end of the city, we get that camera cut of like the group hustling past the buffet towards the library, towards the Royal Library. So
Leo would've quickly grabbed something to snack because he hungry.
yeah, just skip the line, just whoom.
Who did?
Just-
Leo, and probably also Jane.
Wait, yeah, maybe. No, Jane would have been. If Leo was like, "I'm hungry," Jane would be like, "I got
Oh.
you." And can she like pull some
Yeah.
shit? Like she knows a way to get.
Just you have food on you.
Yeah.
No, not the croissants. You're crazy.
So they don't try to swipe anything from the feast?
Something from like that's not too hard, like not anything like right off a table, but like
You're just trying to pull a little sleight of hand as you walk by.
like I
Yeah.
still know that whole cart system, so I'm looking for
Yeah.
one of those carts, one of those loading carts.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly
Roll
think,
me a sleight of hand.
I honestly think Leo would have just kind of walked up to see people that just kind of walk out of the way, grabs like maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some croissants or like a little pastry,
Best.
just grabs like 5 of them and just starts to for
From
like
the
this
feast.
for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
like lanky ass half orc.
So
He
this is what I
fucking-
imagine. It's like you guys split off for a second, and so like, "I'm hungry," and he's like, "I got you," and she like scuffles off. And Oswald, you're watching her like sneak past the cart and boom, like right under their noses, for the staff. And Leo, you just kind of like unintentionally cut a line because people are like, hey, and you don't know there's a line. You weren't paying attention, so you just kind of like grab a plate. And when you see this tall half orc, just he looks like he's loving the city just as much as you are. And then you hear a couple nights, hey, away from the table, there's a line.
And like he fucking grabs him and already starts walking off.
Fucking runs Arden up, and you see like the line get the like all the people in the back of the line are like and like split again, and they're being reorganized because of Leo.
Yes, I win.
Yeah,
I won at D&D.
Did Jane steal anything at all with that?
Yeah, you got a
14?
good plate of something.
All right. What did I
Um,
get? Can they be muffins?
Yes, I was thinking between slices of cake or muffin.
Leo just got like those
Either one is
Cupcakes.
good.
We'll do both. Cupcakes.
Cupcakes. All right. a
You know those
combo.
little French chocolate breads? The all pan shit.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he basically took like 9 of those and just is walking and eating.
What were you saying, Uman?
Seeing this big half orc just skipping line and kind of grabbing some food. Are there any apples in the feast? that
Yeah,
I can see?
couple. Most of
Okay,
them are like
I'm gonna reach for one. I'm gonna throw it at the orc. The half orc.
Roll me a
Yes.
d20.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Just a d20. A d20.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah,
Let's say I
you
click the
toss-
apple and start
You're gonna
eating
start a
it.
riot.
no, I was gonna say you toss the apple, boom, boom, slow motion. Leo, you turn, it passes by you, bonk, and you see it hit some staff member in the face, like and they fall over, and you're like, oh shit,
At
and
least
you
it
hear,
wasn't a guard.
and you see
Yeah.
like a couple guards like, hey, what? Who threw that? Who threw that? And then you hear like in the crowd, no!
Seeing that, Uman is gonna say food fight, and I'm gonna just start throwing shit at random peasants.
Oh no! So
Jane
you see,
throws a cupcake right into the density of the crowd and
I
then
think-
runs away with the rest of it towards the group.
I think I'm gonna just help staff
I'm
member
going
out, like,
to
just like the Hulk in Endgame, like, or I don't know, just give
By
him
the
the
way,
burrito.
I forgot to share that picture earlier when he encountered.
Oh,
Nice.
it's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
You know that little burrito scene of like the Hulk
Yeah.
sharing the- It's
Yeah.
basically, it's basically that, but he's extending a hand while
So
like he's
you guys
balancing,
have
like,
created
Evan.
a like a roar of chaos, and it's just like the knights are holding back this like array of peasants going food. All hell breaks loose.
Okay. Seeing
Yes.
this mayhem, Umon is gonna try to like, put his hood up and try to, inconspicuously just leave the crowd, like taking advantage of the ruckus.
You don't have to roll for that one.
Okay.
It's absolute chaos.
Leo
you
finally
gonna-
noticed it, looks back, it's like, well, fuck me.
Jane's kind of just casually walking back to the group after the
And
initial
I walk
sprint away
back.
from the cart, and she's like,
Are you-
"Don't worry, this
Umar,
kind
are
of thing
you
happens
gonna-
all the time."
Are you looking like towards where that half orc is walking, or are you just sneaking?
Yeah.
up on him?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I'm gonna try to look to what the half orc does.
Yep, and you see them starting to walk further into the city.
Is
and-
Uman in stealth, or is he trying to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and stealth the half
You can
orc.
roll me a stealth for the perception between you.
I would
and-
like to roll perception to see
Yeah.
who's following the orc.
Okay.
I'm just eating pastries, man.
Yeah, and being followed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Roll me a perception also. You miss it.
I'll roll
I like it.
perception.
I'm kind of average at it, but yeah.
It's too much
Let's
going on
see,
here,
I-
little guy.
My -1. Let's see, because I am tall, so I can just say I can just naturally see. Let's see.
You see another tall dude. Not
Yeah.
too far.
This is the most on-brand shit ever.
My passive perception is 12. Do you think I would have just kind of noticed? him?
The passive is it's
Or
a
should
it's a
we
little bit
roll?
different because Jane is like keeping an eye out for a different thing than someone
True.
following. Like
So,
I don't
so
think she
Leo
really is
noticed.
concerned about him.
no, Leo noticed.
wouldn't
Leo noticed because he's like
I wave
turned
at him.
around to try to understand what the fuck's going on.
I wave at him and just fucking just one of the pastries just entirely gone.
Just whole
Just-
his jaw unhinges and he just goes home.
Okay.
He just smiles and waves at him and then just starts to walk back and then just turns around and starts walking again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just handed Oswald a cupcake and I'm eating one. I'm watching
Yeah,
this whole thing
I'm just
unfold.
I'm just hanging out with Rar. Yeah, with Jane, and I'm gonna.
Just a couple of little people hanging out.
Yeah, a little
Actually,
people and then just the tallest.
Are we
fucking
are we
guy.
in like a relatively calm area, or like we're away from the crowd? And,
After a couple of minutes, yeah, you get away from the round car, and you notice the streets have quieted down further
Okay.
towards the keep.
so I want to do an interaction with his squirrel when you want to come around to it.
Yeah, cool.
I wanted to still ask Jane, like, so I don't know much about Phaeluses, but you can smell magic?
I guess so. I don't know a lot about my kind either, to be honest with you. But
It looks like
kinda
I might.
I know that you smell
Like shit.
kind of
They're
gross.
magical creatures,
to be
right?
honest with you.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So with an 18, how's my knowledge on?
You
I know.
you know a little bit about it, especially since you're a wizard. You know that a long time ago it was an off branch like familiars that ended up turning into becoming sentient in a sense and like becoming their own species, and it was a whole mess. It's a whole mess. There's a whole story about it, and there's basically this lesson that's in your grove that don't have cat familiars unless you're willing to prepare for them to revolt.
I'm gonna impart this information as kindly as I can to Uzakat for my own research. No, it's good. You get to understand you will understand yourself. The key is to understand who you are.
She's just kind of like licking some frosting and like nibbling and like narrowing her eyes and looking at you and just like,
Your people were slaves.
okay.
Were slaves.
Your people were slaves once.
Oh,
How does
God.
that
make you
feel,
feel
3-year-old?
3-year-old?
Maybe
Oh.
that's true, but all I know is that you smell like, and I imagine that he smells like almost like freshly cut wood.
Probably.
Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
that I think
like
that.
that smell.
Like yeah, like it smells pretty good. Like
Oh,
it's kind of pleasant, but it's not like perfume or anything. So like, I'll tell him that I'll be like, you smell like freshly cut wood, and then Leo. I think
Whoop.
we agreed Leo smells kind of like dust, like old
Full dust and just ominous music.
Yeah. So I'll just say you smell dusty and you smell like a sawmill.
Well,
But I kind of like the
I mean,
sawdust smell.
that would
Yeah.
check out.
Uman, are you like staying stealth, or are you finally approaching them?
I'm not gonna approach them, but seeing that the orc noticed me, I'm still gonna follow them from a distance, but not approach them.
Okay.
Okay,
cool,
can
cool.
I perception check him now? At this point,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would've
yeah.
been kind of
Yeah.
noticing this sort of thing.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. Now you realize
These are
once
my
the
traits,
crowd,
boy.
you're being tailed.
You notice something?
We got a tail.
You have a tail.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna.
Not the cute furry kind like I have.
So this is where I want to interact with the squirrel now,
Mm-hmm.
if I may. Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to tell the squirrel to be very calm. I'm going to repeat it, and then repeat it again, and then I'm going to say friend, and then I'll explain to the cat that I need to show a squirrel something, and that everything's going to be okay.
That's
Yeah,
so
you can
fucking
ask him
random.
himself, apparently.
Okay, that's pretty fucking ominous if you ask
So
me.
no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
need to talk
So
to your
I'm just going
squirrel.
to-
Relax.
I'm just gonna unbutton one button on my shirt, and
Oh,
then
okay.
slowly, a rattlesnake's head is gonna peek out from underneath my shirt,
He goes.
and just
I
it's
just
gonna roll
hissed.
down.
It hits his
No,
back.
it's not gonna really make any noise or anything like that, but it's gonna roll down. It's not rattling its tail or anything. Actually, instead, it's going to stand straight up in the air and fall down like kind of like a Charlie Chaplin kind of bit, and then it's gonna roll around on the ground back and forth like a stick straight on the ground, and start dancing like a sidewinder on the ground.
What is this abomination?
It's a dancing.
And then I'm
snack.
gonna say to the squirrel again, friend, and then the snake is gonna stop and sit and lower its head and bow in front of the squirrel.
The squirrel says, "I am God."
It's good enough.
Dude, I love it because you could just control Panda. Like, he's yours pretty much.
He's his own being, but he's a kind of a dumbass.
He is.
I don't want him to be scared when the snake comes out later, because now the snake is going to come back up on me, but he's going to stick his head out from underneath my collar and look back at our tail and watch
I
him.
think that Jane is more afraid of the snake than Panda is.
Yeah, it's also
also-
another reason why I wanted to do that, to kind of introduce the snake, because
Is Jane?
friendly
Can Jane smell that it's not a real
Yeah,
snake?
it would
Yeah.
definitely
She
smell that.
tell.
It would
Also,
smell
it's
Uman.
a fey snake. So
Yeah.
I
Uman,
don't
Uman,
look like
so
he's having
after-
flashbacks.
You see a dancing
After a
snake.
second, she's okay with it, but at first she like kind of hisses at it and her
Uman,
hair stands up.
You
a
see
bit.
a dancing snake.
Okay,
I'm gonna approach Jane real
Human is
quick.
even more interested now.
I'm gonna
very
poorly
party
slip a vial into Jane's hand and wink,
Right.
and then I'm done. You
Take
guys can do
it.
stuff.
And then smell it.
Pretty poisonous.
It's snake venom.
Okay. I put it in my pocket.
But I'm gonna
We
tell
haven't-
you
we
that
haven't
it's
gotten to the
poison.
library yet, so I don't have my backpack yet.
I'm gonna tell you that it's poison in thieves' camp. And wink at you.
Okay. Gotcha.
What the fuck?
He just gave the cat drugs, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Leo, I think Leo's just having flashbacks to the tomb.
Dude, the last time he saw a rattlesnake, he's like flashback, "Vroom, snake pit!"
You don't even have to do an insight check or anything. You can just see his face goes blank and he's just remembering unpleasant memories.
He's just shaking.
By the way,
No,
give me another
The
wisdom
snake
save,
flicks
Leo.
its tongue at
Oh
you.
fuck.
Oh god.
Yeah? Okay.
Roll it. Perfect.
Geef me een kwartiertje.
Correct, Leo.
So I'll talk about what Leo feels in just a second. We're gonna pivot back over to Radagast.
I'm so sorry, but after we do Radagast, can we take like a quick 10-minute break? I have to.
Yeah, I was
walk
about
my
to say the
dog really
same.
quick.
I was
Yeah,
about to
you
say
guys,
the same.
you guys feel free to take one now. I'll get ready, guys. So
Oh, that's
look into.
that's
cool.
great.
Special
Then I
time
can
with the
get right on
TM.
it.
10 minutes. That's perfect because that'll put it to 1 p.m. for me to be back.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
10-minute break.
Okay.
See you guys
Okay.
later.
Be right
See you
back.
guys later.
I'm gonna make some tea.
So at 1 p.m. we're in
Yeah,
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, in 10 minutes.
Well, in
Okay.
10 minutes. Yep.
Be right back.
Yep. And while everyone takes a break, Radagast, you're in like a corner of this rundown inn, just kind of like upstairs. You're like, oh god, what's happening? And then your window clicks open, and now no longer bloodied. That same figure hops in and is like, shh, and it closes the window, closes the shades, and is like, lock the door.
I lock the door.
He sits down on your bed very casually, like very relaxed.
I think I think Radagast gets on his knees and he starts praying to whatever god could possibly hear him. And
Yeah,
then
he looks at you, like, what are you doing?
I'm just preparing. I'm preparing for you to kill me.
Why would I do that? No, seriously, why would I do that?
I think he's crying. You know, he can't explain himself.
Okay, look, listen. Well, no, you're crying. Ah, fuck. Okay, so what do you know in general? Do you know anything useful, or are you just like a regular pet?
I
You any
can.
good with a sword?
I don't think so.
Ah, damn. Okay, well, you must think this is a really bad day, huh?
I think probably. I think through tears, he's like, you know, probably the worst day I've ever had, honestly. So he's like,
yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm trying to find something out here. I'm new-ish in town.
I'm also newish in town.
Well, look, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Something shady's going on here.
Yeah.
He pulls out that ring. He's like, "This, you see this? I have a feeling there is more than one person with this in their heart,
I don't
which
know
is
what that is.
disturbing." Wow, you really don't know anything.
That's what I've
Man.
been trying to tell you.
Worthless. And you see him like pocket it. Boom. Okay, look. You just need to get out of town and don't talk about what you've seen here today to anyone, and you'll live a happy, hopefully happy life.
Probably not.
You can leave all the dangerous stuff to the people who are skilled with it. Right?
Right. Yes. Get
Cool.
out of town. So you're not gonna kill me.
Why would I do that?
I've only
mean-
known you for like 3 minutes, and it's one of the only things I've
Well,
seen
I
you
didn't
do.
I didn't kill you in the first 60 seconds, did I?
Maybe it's more fun if you torture me. I've been through a lot of torture, so you're gonna have to really get in there.
Blows. And you see him like lean back in his seat. No, but seriously, something shady's going on in this town.
Why are you even telling me this?
Well, because you watched me murder someone in front of you, and you're probably gonna freak out and cry. So I just want you to know, when everything goes to shit, just run and don't worry about it. Someone more important will handle it.
I think that I think that Radagast feels like he doesn't like the way that he said somebody more important will handle it. I think he's still like upset, but like I think a part of him is like, wow,
indignant.
yeah, like that's you don't know anything about me, really.
He is that his response, or does he keep crying?
I think he keeps crying and he nods his head.
Good. All right.
You're
Clean
gonna-
up your face.
I wipe my face on like something like my hands, and then I like hold my hands out like there's a bunch of tears and snot on my hands.
Gross.
All right, I'm back early. Get my tea.
Nice. Yeah. No.
I think I'm gonna need you to help me get to Radagast to where he needs to be right now.
Oh no, I got you, homie. Don't you worry about
I
it.
cannot wait for
Poor
whatever.
Radagast. It's okay. You can pet Jane a little bit
Yeah.
when
You see him like,
I'm allergic to cats.
she's not a cat.
just don't worry about it.
She's a different thing.
Pretend like you've seen nothing, and you'll have a good, healthy, long life. Probably.
I doubt it.
Maybe not.
Plus, now cats are hypoallergenic, so
Yeah.
Oh, and
her fur is made of steel.
and if you need a name to remember, what caused the worst day in your life, Aelith. See you around. Never. And it jumps out the window.
I think Radagast is so fucking perplexed by this. He's like, I'll see you around, never. Here's my name. Bye. Just
Nah,
murdered that guy.
He told you it's so you will remember it in your nightmares.
Okay, it's not
It's more.
hypoallergenic.
Alright, so it's a
but it's one
threat.
of the ones like my cat that it's barely ever has any allergens.
Yeah, no, it's the just remember me in your dreams, kid.
I like this murderer.
Me too. Me
I
too.
think that if Jane ever sees him and encounters him, she's gonna be like, arch villain.
I don't
And then
think-
she's gonna find a mask that opposes him completely.
Cool. Yep. And with that, well, Radagast, what do you do? Where'd you go?
I think I think that I probably just start to like leave. Like if I'm not immediately threatened and the only thing that they've told me is I have to get out of town, I think I'm just gonna go back to my mom.
Perfect. As you like step out into the streets, you see that like you're sneaking along to the main gate, and you've noticed it's closed. And that there's a couple guards around, and it is sealed. It's you've never seen like you've been to here twice, and you've never seen the gate shut, locked in.
Oh, fuck. I think then Radagast turns around and he.
One of the guards, because like I said, this part is like empty. And he's like, "Hey, shoot! Gates are closed."
Yep. Okay. And I think I'm still carrying a big bag of money, right?
Yeah, like probably in your bag or whatever.
Okay. Then I probably am. I don't know. I think Radagast might actually go into. I'm trying to put myself in the position of somebody who's just seen somebody murdered, and then the murderer told them to leave, but now you cannot leave. And honestly, where do you go from here? Where do you go from the bottom? You know, where can you sink lower?
You run. So you go back into the town, right? Looking for a way
yeah. If
out.
the gates are closed, I'm going back into town for sure, and I'm gonna try. Maybe hire some bodyguards or some armor or something. Just like I do not feel safe at all. I can't tell the guards what's going on. I need to do something. How much gold do I have?
He gave you 100 gold.
Yeah.
Which is more gold than Radagast has ever seen in his life.
Yeah, I figured it was a lot.
How is everybody back?
I am.
I am indeed.
Iron, you back?
I'm going to be trying to use Charm Person to secure us a mode of transportation.
I think Radagast is going to be
What the
running
fuck
through
did I
town
miss?
trying to figure out what to do.
No.
No,
Umar,
just-
Iron, you here? Okay, I guess he's not here yet. So we'll continue with Radagast for a little bit until he comes back. Because everybody else is here. So Radagast, you're heading looking for bodyguards, right? Give me an
Anything.
investigation.
I'm looking for anything that will make me feel even the slightest amount safer.
Roll me investigation. Oh boy. Okay, so you see the crowds are like gathering, and it's like typical. Like you've heard of like the speeches that the Knight Commander usually gives on days of celebration, where like there's a whole crowd. There's like a full lineup of like people. It's usually a great show, and you see they're starting to get it set up here.
Mhm.
And that does not make you feel safe, so you go somewhere else. So you ended up because there's a whole bunch of knights there, and you're like, goodbye. So you're walking through these back alleys, through these back streets, and you find yourself walking this path, and it feels like it does. You don't know where you're going, but it feels like it's the right way, right? Like you just feel like, and a part of you is like, I hope this is good. I hope I don't die. I hope I don't die. And you're just walking through further into the capital city. And then I think that's a good point to pivot over once everyone's back.
All right. Man,
The-
I'm
the
really
man
curious.
With the most
I'm just
epic
catching up on my
backstory
notes right
just
now.
has
Hmm?
is just the sweetest baby of all.
Now,
I
let's-
love it. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
He's a
it's so
poor
funny.
boy. He's a poor boy.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
I was really doing well with notes, and then I don't know. I just got too into it, and I stopped.
No,
reading,
that
so
I
I'm
think
catching up
that's
now.
I think that's a good thing to say, right?
Probably,
I was
yeah.
I wasn't writing notes because I was too busy role playing.
I don't have a lot of notes right
Yeah,
now
I
except
know,
for I witnessed a murder. I need to get out of town.
I just have
Well, I
Danny
did a
and Mike.
paragraph for each of the intros, and then I've done like everything that
Jesus.
Jane has done.
I just got Donnie and
Oh,
Mike,
good.
expedition companions. My patron is called Telson Jaffe, headcanon.
Fuck you.
Um,
Yeah.
should I try to should we go through the motions of me securing us a cart, which is what I was planning to do, but now since the doors are closed, do you want to go through all that, or are
Oh
we just
no,
gonna manage that
I was gonna
we
say,
can't get out?
like in the streets, there are very few. Like you notice that a lot of people are grouping back towards the center plaza, and there's not really that many wagons or vehicles out on the road.
Weren't you also going to torture my character some more with that failed wisdom save?
Yes, I was. So I think we could start with that. So you, Leo, as you're passing by towards the northern side, as an example, you guys are going further inland because
Mhm.
where Jane lives is the Royal Library, which is right out, like right in between the wall and the keep. It's the only place slightly outside of the keep. As you're passing through those streets, there's like a chill you get, and you kind of like blink, and it's again a very bad feeling.
So
kinda, like,
it's
look
getting
back.
more intense the deeper I go into.
The closer you get to my house.
Okay,
Hey guys, I'm
My
back.
house, I say.
Okay,
Welcome
now with
back.
everyone back,
Leo.
you all see Leo like tense up and just kind of like.
What is everyone doing?
They're walking
Crying.
towards further into the town.
If this was like a Telltale game, you would just see like in the top right corner. Leo will
Leo.
remember this.
So,
Leo's gonna be.
what is the problem?
Leo's just gonna look a bit. He's gonna,
what's
instead
to
of
be
being a
funny?
dumb fucking smiling, he's gonna look around a bit more paranoid since think he might have put 2 and 2 together, and it's like the deeper I go, the more fucked I'm feeling.
Do we need to retrieve you later? We will go to the library and retrieve you. That's the gate.
I'm just feeling a little bit ill. Don't mind me.
Cool.
All right, so we'll press on.
Cool. So the Royal.
They're still on the street, right?
Yeah. At this point in one, you and they would have noticed there's very few people heading northwards towards the center. Everybody's like filtering down towards
Some Jamaican dude just like walking behind us, trying to pretend that he's hiding.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm a
I'm
native
not
from the
trying-
city.
I'm not trying to hide.
James is like very aware of the fact that he's there.
Yeah. And my snake's watching him now too. Yeah. Since we spotted him.
Speaking of which, when we get to the library, I am going to confront him.
Okay. So yeah, to describe the library, it
But I'm
is
gonna
a
ask-
4-story tall building with these very ornate pillars at the front holding it up. It's massive. It's huge. And it's like peak, and it almost like the wall to its right is like 50 feet tall to the keep, to the actual keep. It's massive. And like the library is just a little bit shorter than that. It's
Damn.
huge, and there's so many books in there.
So
But yeah, at the steps, there's no, but like it's a very empty here today. You've noticed.
are
Normally,
we
there's
inside the library now?
no, you would be at the steps. You would
Okay,
be at the
so
steps.
at the
Leo
steps, what
looks
I
like
imagine
a
that-
child in like a candy store.
I imagine that at the steps there's like some pillars of some kind, or like a statue
Definitely.
kind of near the entrance of it. Jane like has climbed onto this thing 1,000 times, and she climbs right up on top of the head of it, or the top of it, and just looks down and just waits for
Okay.
Uman to walk by, and then
Uman, you are like, there's a cat on a statue that's just like 2 feet, so you just have to tilt your head
just
back
glaring
slightly,
at him.
just slightly back to see her. to see her.
Okay.
Staring at you.
Yeah, Human is kind of a little bit further back. Like he's not just walking in the
My
direction.
hands
He's
on my
like
hips.
he's following the group and just staying a little bit back,
Point
looking
at him.
at the cat.
I point
While
at
Okay.
this is all happening, Leo just walks into the library, and I think he kind of just ducks down to get in.
Roll a 15 to hide while this is going on.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
And Leo's gonna ask the librarian.
We'll get to that into a little bit as
oh,
everyone else
yeah.
comes in after you.
Also, before I get to the thing with Jane, I have an passive insight of 15.
Yep.
So do I? Oh wait, passive perception. Sorry, of 15. So do
you
I
would not
notice
see-
the
You would
gnome?
you would not see Oswald at the moment.
Okay. Okay, I'm looking at the cat.
Yeah, I point to the ground in front of me after I point to him. Like to come up to me.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
and
coming
there's
up.
a squirrel standing next to me. He's got his hands on his hips too. Maybe.
I love this.
He's got his hands on Jane's hips.
Okay, yeah.
Aw, that's cute.
That's weird. But yeah.
He's
He's
not
helping
brain.
you.
He's
He's
hugging
helping you
me.
not fall over.
Yeah. We're keeping state. We have 4 legs together.
Yeah,
Together
I
we
woke
are
up.
strong.
Jane, she's only three.
Legion.
Yes. I'm gonna be like, hey, you've been tailing us for a little while now. You have something to ask?
Yeah, actually, you. Oh, wait. My boy is just going. Okay. Your half-orc friend just really rudely skipped the line of all those people trying to eat, and I was trying to, talk to him about it. And I see that was my first intention, but then I saw you all interesting people with your dancing snakes and intelligent squirrel. So
That's
I
far
want
away.
I wanted to see what was all this thing about you. What were you going?
I'm gonna come out from stealth, but I'm gonna come out from stealth by tugging on his pant leg.
Okay. Oh, little gnome man, hello.
We've got you
Guten
surrounded
Tag.
now, big guy.
I love this.
Okay, look.
It's nice to
yeah.
meet you. My name is Dr. Oswald Steves. I come to understand our orcish friends made some offense to you.
You're on my
Uh,
turf now.
Okay, I'm just kind of looking at both of them. Like,
Mixed
in
signals.
turns. Also, you're a doctor. I haven't met a doctor yet. What are you a doctor for? How do you do, Mr. No Man?
Excellent question. I am an expert on the Fae and their influence on the magics of our world.
Okay, that's that. I've never met a doctor about that. So good to. I'm really pleased to meet you, and I'm hold out my hand. My name is Uman.
Yeah, I jump up and grab his arm
Okay.
and do my best to shake his hand.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. I look up at Jane and what is your name, little cat?
I am Jane. And did you say your name was human? I thought that
No,
was
no,
your
no,
race.
no, no. No. That is my race. You are right, but no, I'm Umon. That's my name.
I'm Elis.
Okay.
It's so good.
We apologize for the transgressions of our friend. He is, how you say, unrefined.
My name is Jane.
What?
Yes, and her name is Jane.
Okay.
The orc is unrefined, but we mean no offense to you. One question. For what purpose have you come here? You do not seem to be from Silverkeep.
Yes. I am new to this city, as probably most of you are. I was actually coming here because I have run out of money, so I'm gonna need to fill my purse back again sometime soon. So I'm looking for work, and your group looked like an interesting one, and I wanted to follow you just to see what I could make.
I'm
out
going
of
to
you.
interrupt him, and I'm going to
Okay.
say, perfect. And I'm going to slap him on the ass and tell him he's hired. And then I'll walk in the line.
I love it.
Okay.
Can
I love
can
it.
I tell from here that he? Can I smell the magic on him from here?
Yeah, probably. He smells very fresh
Okay.
wood, flowers.
So I'm gonna take a big whiff right after Oswald smacks him on the calf. I'm
Sorry,
assuming.
yeah.
The
I'm gonna take a
smelling
big
thing.
whiff, and I smell like it goes from like sage to like mint to like kind of more of a fruity scent, and then she like kind of drops her guard like immediately, and then jumps off the statue and runs up closer to him.
Okay, did I notice Jane's sniffing me, trying to
Yeah,
smell me?
she went.
Okay, okay. I hold out my hand to her. Here, little Jane, you can smell me closer.
Oh, nice.
She's kind of like throwing back that he noticed that, but then she runs up and smells him anyway, and she's like, "Are you a gardener?"
I used to be something like that, but we'll talk about that later. Little no man, you said you said I was hired.
Yeah.
Do
Come,
you
we're
care?
we're going to the library.
Fucking
There's not
hard
much time.
arts.
We'll explain on the way.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll follow the
Okay.
gnome.
When they
He's
go
already
into the
halfway inside.
library, I just want to say when they go in the library, Jane's gone. She disappears. She
she
follows
caught
her
it.
secret route up to her.
So, Leo, you enter, and there's this tall, large Leland woman at the front desk. You see she's wiping it down with a pretty fresh rag. And like when the door opens, she goes, "Oh, we have visitors on a day like today. So pleasure
Oh,
to meet you."
pleasure to meet you. And he,
Thea.
oh, what?
My name is Thea. I am the only librarian in today.
Leo.
Everybody's taking the day off for celebration. How can I help you?
I would. Do you have any books about the history of the Dead Mounds?
Ooh, we have something of the sort, and you see her like move around from behind your desk, open it, and very relaxed. You realize she is just about your height and a little bit wider than you, and it's like, oh man, she's big. And
Oof.
she's
I'm gonna
like,
tug on her skirt.
"Oh, hello there. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Yes, yes. Arcana
I-
and spellcasting, please.
There's a whole section on the second floor labeled. Most of it is pretty mundane. Unfortunately, we do not have many high-class works in the public section. Though, if you had a access granted by the knights.
Excuse me, the public section. Is there a private
Oh, boy.
section?
Yes, but you need access and permission from the knights themselves. A lot of those works are dangerous. And
Oh, yes.
Trained.
You know, Sir Dan Lee is a
Oh,
friend of yours.
young Lee? Oh, fantastic. What exactly are you looking for? I may be able to fetch something from there then.
Books on spell casting would be very, very useful to us. We are working with Mr. Lee on one of his quests.
Oh,
I suppose.
interesting.
Would you also
fantastic.
perhaps have a book about the Shadowfell? Maybe.
We have something of the sort. I will do my best to investigate through
Oh.
our very vast library. Feel free to take anything from the first and second floor. Take a look. I will be right back. And she does a little bow, and you see like she has a little notebook and a little clipboard, and she just, and you realize her footsteps are really quiet. And then she's fucking like you lean over to where she went, and she's gone.
Nice. I'm gonna go to the second floor and wait for her.
Are there any like inside
I'm
the
gonna-
library? Are there any like maybe
We-
plants for decoration or something?
Yeah, there's plenty. It's a very it's a very big library. There's lots of plants, lots of seating, lots of windows. It's very very much an open space to enjoy yourself and relax.
Leo's also gonna look on books for.
Are there any
Because of
plans
the
for the second floor?
experience, I think
Yeah.
maybe some basic aberration books. Something
Roll me
about-
an investigation for that.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
like fucking. Like tales about unsightly things. Investigation.
Yeah. Okay.
15.
So you find an old book that looks like a storybook almost, where it has a couple of pictures of unsightly monsters and legends and lores.
Ooh.
Very spooky. Very
Okay.
like you've seen
Grab
these
it.
types of books before. They have something in them.
Yeah?
And yes, Uman, there are plants pretty much throughout the entire place, as far as you can tell. Jane, up at the top in your attic,
Wow.
as you're like grabbing your bag and packing, you can hear a thump, 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 and like a rattle at the little trapdoor.
Oh, I hiding place. Throw the sheet over my rig, make it look like an old dusty pile of things like usual, and I'm under one. I'm under one of them.
You're under a sheet, so you don't see what the end does, but you hear thump, thump, thump.
I'm peeking out, looking now.
You see her like wiping some of the dust off, looking around, and she scratches her chin a little bit and seems a bit concerned about something, and then grabs a book that she had left up here before that you had already finished, and she replaces it with another, and then she walks downstairs. And it is a book.
I scurry over and get the book.
It is a book, a storybook about it's the second installment essentially to one of your adventure books, and you had been looking for it, couldn't find it. Everything it was just published.
She puts it in her bag, and she, yeah, I don't know.
Yep. And then
If she's done packing up everything
Yeah.
of hers, then she would probably pop out of a hole in the wall somewhere and appear next to one of the team members. And
yeah, under the table, like hi.
You can just see Leo just, what the f?
I'm gonna,
Incomprehensible orcish.
is there a chessboard in the library?
Yep. There's one.
I'm gonna
What are-
motion to the cat to come to the chessboard with me while we wait for the woman to come back. I don't think there's gonna. I'm guessing with my intelligence, there's probably not anything in the public section of Arcana that's gonna have any real interest.
I'm gonna
Nothing that I
start
haven't seen
thumbing
before.
through
It would all
I'm
be
waiting for
it would all be cantrips and stuff.
pretty general. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for her to return with whatever she's got. In the meantime, I'm gonna try and show the cat chess if you're willing.
all right, yeah, she's gonna run over when he gestures for her and ask her what's up. She's got like a bag twice her size on her back now.
Please sit. We will play chess.
Leo
She
just
puts
reading
a
the
bag
book.
next to the table and sits on the chair.
Well,
she
while they're
puts the
doing
bag
that-
on the chair and then sits on it so that she's high enough.
Okay, you were saying, Uman?
while they're doing that, Un is just like going to the nearest plant and just druid shit, just like like maybe petting the plant a little, grabbing a little bit of dirt and like sniffing it and like putting like a bunch of it in
Nursing
his
it back to
pocket.
hell.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
They're very well kept, but there's something that your talents and your practice that helps you with this. It's like these are very good, well kept houseplants, but there's a little bit of life that's always missing because they're not in the woods, they're not in their habitat. So you just kind of give them a little bit of that, so it feels a lot
Okay.
more relaxed.
Okay.
Plus bonus to houseplant.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
one house plant.
And then Human is just making his way to watch the chess game.
Okay, so when we're playing chess, since I have to worry about reaching the board too, I'm gonna stand on the stool, and my snake is gonna move the pieces while I show him what they all do.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
So
that's a great
that's
flex.
a kind of a fun image. He's sitting on top of a giant bag of Christmas presents, and I am moving chess pieces with a
Can't
snake. while
both we all
standing
just
My-
stack
with my
up?
hand
my-
behind my back.
That's
like,
a little
my
boost.
crossed
tail,
behind my back.
my tail is moving my pieces.
Nice.
And then you get Leo and Uman in the back, and then over elsewhere in the city, it's a crime.
There's just a
She's
fucking
like-
riot
She's
going
read
on.
books that mention chess and vaguely knows the rules, but hasn't read any books that like explain the rules of chess. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going over like the pawns, how they move, and all that kind of stuff.
About 75% way through the chess game,
Guys,
Thea returns and she has 3 books on her stack, and she waits for it to finish and she like claps. It's like entertaining game, very good. And Jane, she doesn't seem to recognize you, and she puts down for all of you the books you ask. One is a book on arcane theory and the applications for defensive and offensive magics. Another one is that tome of hidden monsters and the encounters of the unknown, which is for the Shadowfell and that sort of stuff. And the last one is just a general kind of like bestiary of local monsters that you figured you guys might want as well. And he's like, return them as soon as you can. I understand. Mr. Lai is very good about his honesty and being on time. I will have no doubts that you can handle it.
Uh,
Uh,
Danke.
and if
Frau
you
Lai.
wish, there is a
Walks
celebration.
away.
There's a cel. Oh yeah,
Sorry, go
there's a
ahead.
celebration today, and I'm so grateful to have guests. A speech from the newest Knight Commander,
Oh, well,
and there's a little bit of concern on her face, but I was like, but it'll probably be well. And you see her
Oh.
slink off.
If the DM says
Jesus.
so, even dense motherfucking Leo will pick up on it. Oh,
She's slinking off. Jane follows her and kind of tugs on her skirt
Oh,
too.
she turns a yes, little one.
She has a cupcake in one hand and a croissant in the other, and she just like is looking down at the ground but holding them up.
She catches thank you so much, and she takes the cupcake
She
and she like pats you on the head, and is like, have a good evening, and she walks off with.
she says thank you, and then she runs away.
aw.
I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation and make a tiny pair of hands that just clap in the air.
Okay. Yeah, human just joining the clapping.
All right, with that, you guys have your books and you're ready to go wherever you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, wait. So I
do we have
got
time
a
to investigate them, or is she ready to go?
The unknown.
Yeah, no, she's ready to go. They're very thick
Okay.
books. That it's not like you sit in one sitting. It's one that you would spend over.
I'm gonna hang on to it, and yeah, we'll move along then.
With all that, and you guys start heading back down to the main square. And I think this is a good time for Radagast, another Radagast point of view.
Yeah.
Another
as
perspective
you
from
guys-
somebody having a
you
way
guys-
worse time than everyone else.
I
having
feel
a
a little
12
bit
time
bad,
here.
but
It's very pleasant.
I think it's very telling. Of
Fucking great.
how things- So as you guys in the back are like approaching, you are a good distance away when you hear the new Knight Commander speak. Shane, by the way, roll me a history check. And you guys get a good angle from like the side, but you're not in the massive crowd in front of him. And yeah, roll me a history, and also all of you with your passive perceptions would notice there's quite a lot of knights here. The only person
roll
who
a
Even with
history,
my
you said?
9?
yeah,
Yes. Okay.
even with
Okay.
your 9, yes, there's a lot. It's a full.
Damn.
It looks like it's a
Full house.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know.
Even with that 3, you would still know something, which is you've seen one celebration of this size before, and you're pretty sure it was not this many knights. And you remember that the new Knight Commander, like you something about that feels like you should know something, but you can't. Like it's been your day has been pretty busy.
I had to ask something, but should I roll
yeah.
another? Oh,
Yes, you
boy.
should.
I'm gonna tell the
Oh.
team- I'm gonna say something's going on, and we should be careful.
11.
Ah,
Fuck me.
okay. So with that, I'm going to suggest in roundabout in Thieves' Cant that we start to move in stealth. Just Jane and
Yeah.
I off to the
So,
side.
for you, Leo, again, before you've been having bad feelings, and in this one, it's you've had this feeling before. You know it pretty well. It is terror, and you've experienced it quite a few times in traps. But it's equivalent to the primal fear you feel when you are about to die. That's the vibe you're getting, and it's just like your heart's racing, and you don't know why. You, Leo, are not afraid, but your body is afraid. And you.
This is it like this
Leo
sort of
just
intuitive
stands
scaredness
still.
that you have? Sorry.
Casting before. Okay. Yeah, no. Leo just stands still, and he looks like he's just processing because it's not been fun. And I think he might take a couple of steps back, just as instinct.
A quick question: how tall is Leo?
7 foot.
Okay. Human is standing next to him and seeing that he's actually taller than him, he's gonna try to like stand in his in the front of his feet a little bit just to match like his height or something.
God.
Just a little bit. And
And
yeah, just stand with him.
I think you'd see his hands are kind of shaking,
Okay.
and he's having like a strange look.
Yeah, right there, man.
I don't think so.
What's
Have have you ever had that gut feeling that something bad's about to happen?
And as he says that,
Okay.
the speech starts.
Fuck.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, my mom came in yelling at me because I didn't put the dishes away yet.
How dare you?
No, that's the point. I completely forgot about it. Anyway, music change time. As the speech starts, this large man, this commander, when you saw him earlier in the line, it's the Knight Commander Kellyan. He introduces himself as, and his voice is booming. And here we go. And his words are very sweet sounding. He's like, "Today's a fantastical day, celebration. It's a new, wondrous time for all of us." And you see all of the people on the horse. There's a couple of mounted knights who are like settling in their seats. And Radagast, there's this again. You are in the streets, out of sight, and you get this like that. Today couldn't get any worse. It's just like boom. As you're hearing this speech, because you've heard this kind of talk before, when someone's going to do something to you that you despise. It's that same attitude, same tone.
Leo's
Yeah, it's the sort of like
being-
pretentious. This is for your own good kind of.
He's gonna keep
Yeah.
taking some steps back slowly.
Unfortunately, it seems that a problem has occurred in these times of celebration, and our wonderful king, in his majesty and his grace, has informed us of a terrible, terrible threat. The people here, and like the crowd is starting to like rumble, have
Jane wants us to get going.
yeah. You guys can start moving. As you speak
She's
to the-
telling everyone. She's like, we gotta
go,
go.
go. It's pretty entrancing. Have found themselves in a strange position. We believe you all to be traitors in a sense, and
Slowly
he has this
take a step
smug smile, and the punishment for that treason is quite simple. And he taps a foot, and you hear the boom, and the crowd starts screaming, and the knights tear into them.
I am fucking bolting.
Fuck it.
I can only
boom.
imagine what
So-
Radagast is experiencing right now, which is probably the
It's
worst
really-
thing
yeah,
I think
ever.
if you see Leo,
it's-
we have the same
terrifying.
expression.
It's terrifying. It's one of those, like you see one of the horsemen ready to cut down several people with a large axe, just swing through them, and they're screaming, and blood and terror filling the air, and there's this, like it's oppressive, and the people are running through the streets, and you can hear Kellyan go, as the slaughter commences.
Okay, so we're on the edge of all this.
Yeah, you guys are
Uh,
out of the direct crowd, but you got
am
a
I-
full sight.
Am I Radagast also out of the direct crowd, right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, like I said, you with your day, you were not inclined.
Do I see? Do
All
we
right,
see
I
a
want
lot
to
of
ask. I'm gonna ask Jane if there's a way out of the city that we can get to, aside from the gates.
I know several ways out. Let's.
The closest one is through a graveyard, to the far right. You would have to cut through the main street, past the crowd.
All right,
Does he?
so
Fucking go.
it's not a problem. I'm gonna, I guess, come out of stealth. I guess I'm just gonna ring the bell. I'll cast prestidigitation and bring the guys over to us.
Okay.
Oh, like the knight,
Nothing-
or just the boys. The boys. Okay,
All
thank you.
the rest of the crew. Yeah. Viva Skull.
Boys.
Go.
Yeah,
Fellows and
I'm-
cats.
I'm keeping an eye out for that, and I grab Leo by the shoulder, and we have to go and follow the gnome.
Leo, for a moment, like that terror fades, and
Closest.
you feel like you're being watched from somewhere, Leo, from like the sides, and you like turn as an instinct because your body is telling you to, and you see a glimpse of a hat, and then boom, it disappears, and you're just like, book it, book it, book it, and that feeling of dread disappears for a moment.
So we follow Jane.
The fourth one.
So the closest one of the first of the big people to get to us, to me and Oswald, I'm gonna climb up them and then start guiding them.
Okay. I think
Wait,
I'm running ahead of Leo, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
yeah.
think Leo has a slow startup, and then if
Full sprint,
the half orc is going full Usain Bolt here,
full tilt.
He's having the Boulder flashbacks now. He's
Radagast, as you're
Sorry,
in
I
this
just-
alleyway,
This is about
you
to go
see
bad.
them running like with purpose towards somewhere that isn't where the crowd is
I
running.
I see everybody else, right?
Yeah, you see them running, and you
Okay.
hear a whistle, and a couple of the cavalry turned back, and it's like, we've got runner.
We've got a runner.
And in
I'm
my head,
gonna
I'm like
cast-
converting my roots into big people size paths.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because usually
I
I do other stuff that they can't.
I would like to say absolutely. If I see them running with purpose, I'm definitely gonna follow them. I went out of here. I don't care how.
yeah.
I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion, and I just want to, as they're turning, I want to try to create an image of something imposing to them. I can't do anything too elaborate, but like
Minor
just the
Illusion
image of like
works for me.
like an orc
I don't-
running in an opposite direction.
Just like a still of an orc like roaring, and they're like, peel back.
It
for a
can't make
second.
noise,
think-
so
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about like the stature of like a big orc in the way for just a moment before it fades.
yeah, going in the opposite direction, just disappearing
Mhm.
into an alleyway away from us.
Yep. As you guys are running, you see this not small. He's hunched, so it makes him look smaller. This human who, red eyes, tears. He has a heavy looking back, and he's wearing like scraggly clothes.
Sorry, I really love how I wrote Radagast.
Love it.
you little baby. We must protect.
And you just see him just start trailing after you, like.
I'm definitely slower than everybody else. I have a -1 deck, so I think I'm probably the slowest.
No, Dex
No,
is
no.
agility,
Dex
not
doesn't
speed.
matter.
It's all size. I'm the slowest, actually, believe it or not.
But she's got a big
Or me,
head, right?
yeah. I'm gonna,
Quick
I'll
hit,
latch on.
yeah, the slowest. That's
So
why I'm
wait,
riding
so
on your shoulders.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, can I get up on, like, if you're riding Uman, can I ride the half orc? Can I ride the?
Leo, it's not strong enough.
I am
Leo's not strong enough?
I am a
Alright,
feeble orc. I am a
All right. Well, feet don't
can I-
fail me now. I'm just.
Can
I'm
I
just
can I
gonna move
carry
my
both
little
of them?
legs.
You're gonna move your little legs, and you're gonna see Radagast sprinting past you, following.
I'm just
I
gonna
like
have to take the dash direction until. To
But
keep
wait,
up with
does
him.
I have a question.
This-
How far is the cavalry?
They look to have been delayed, but you're going through alleyways, so they're not gonna be able to follow you like that. But you know they're probably gonna try.
I
to cut
think
it.
right before Leo goes into an alleyway, I think I'm gonna cast the one thing that warlocks are good at, and I think he's just gonna like outstretch his hand, and he doesn't know why the fuck, and he's gonna mutter Eldritch Blast and miss
so-
Get
completely.
away our position.
It is invisible. But it makes sense. It's an instinct, a primal one of like one is turning and seeing you running, and you just hand out and you're like, please.
Please.
And it just-
Jane know any way that she can ditch people when she's running through the city?
yeah, no, like you will
I
be
want to
able to.
ditch them and still be heading in the direction I'm going.
No,
with
no,
them.
no. They are
A
just.
way to-
And this is the cinematic. Like they are. This is what Jane's good at. She will get away. Like she knows the way to get away
Okay.
from these types of things. The blast. You see it. Like it was already not going to connect, but you see like the runes on the armor gleam for a moment, and the boom, deflected off and into a building, which is strange. It's just a in a wall, and there's another whistle, and then boom, you guys are in the alleyway, sprinting, running, praying.
Okay. Can human pick up Oswald?
Yeah, he definitely could.
Okay. So
With a -1
You're gonna
strength, can I
carry me.
pick up?
yeah,
Can I
you
pick up
are.
a 20
Hey,
pound
hey,
cat?
and I'll pick him up. Just run
Nice.
with him in my like pick him up. Yeah.
I'm just gonna point forward,
Yeah.
like determined.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just running, following Jane's direction. I'm guessing Jane is still in my shoulders, or did
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
reach?
I'm
she's-
yelling in your ear. I'm like, left,
Okay.
right, that bridge. Keep
Okay,
going
okay.
straight here. But
So
Yeah,
a good vision of this is like we're panning out and we see like you weaving through the streets every so often. You hear the clump, clump, clump of horses and like metal behind you. It's like they are not exactly behind you, but they're trying to cut off exits. You see like you pass alleyways where you see people getting slaughtered and like homes being broken into. It is a bloodbath. And you see like one of the gates, you pass by it and you see there are screams and fire. And it smells terrible. It's awful scent. And then you manage to lead away and having lost the nights for a good while towards this graveyard, this spooky, terrible place. But Leo, again, I want you to roll me a wisdom save. I forgot to move you guys here. Maybe there later.
6.
There you go. So Leo, put yourselves on the map over here as you enter this old graveyard, and the exit is like down over that way and through. It's an old crypt that you have to make your way through.
You just want us to put ourselves at the very start of the graveyard?
Yeah, over here. Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So Leo, you get, like I said, when that figure you saw in the distance disappeared, that primal fear vanished with it. But here in this instant, you feel like you just lock up for a moment, and you don't see anybody, but you feel it, like a gaze that you hate. And there's a tapping sound. Yeah, you guys will be able to see him in just a second when I drag him on the map.
Shit.
I need to get the token. A second. Got the wrong version.
I really like that picture for this guy.
I love this picture.
Yeah, such a good one.
I really like the
He's
stylized
He's standing in front of you at the graveyard, tapping his feet, and he's like clapping, like, "Ooh, what an interesting bunch." And he like, Jane, to you, he smells like death, and despair, and it's
Oh, sorry. Wrong one.
no, it's okay. It's an awful feeling.
Can I
As
ask?
far as you tell, Oswald, he doesn't seem magical, or he doesn't like, you can feel magic off of him, but you don't know what kind, right? And he, like, it's very chilling when he's standing there very casually in front of you, and he's like, so very impressive, so nimble. And let's see how this goes. Well,
can I just ask, as Radagast right now, I don't have like my actual cleric class, right?
You would have the HP of it, yeah.
Yeah, I have the HP, but I don't have like.
But yeah, no.
Okay.
And as he's clapping, there's a pshoom of black lightning, and a figure in green is spinning his sword. He's like, "There you are, you little fucking rat!" And he looks back and he sees you, Radagast. He's like, "Everywhere I go."
I like shrug and like make like a noise, like I don't know.
And you see him, he's like, well, he looks at all of you, and the figure is like, oh, so you would be that priest, pesky little priest. And he turns, he's like, all of you should stay there. And he like turns to face the mage. What do you guys do?
Is the guy that I saw rip somebody's heart out telling me to stay here?
No. This guy who this guy called, who the dude standing in front of you called this dude the cleric, called
I think
Aleph, the cleric.
I think Radagast was probably sneaking off to hide
behind this pillar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his title is the court mage, by the way, this dude. He's the one who told you to stay. But you guys can crawl, yeah, and run.
I crawled behind this pillar immediately, and
I'm gonna hide behind this chunk of wall. Is this broken wall? Right?
Yeah, it's broken wall and path, so it's like you can boom out of
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna
way.
hide in the rubble right
Wait,
here.
so what did Leo feel?
Dread, absolute dread coming from this.
Yeah, no,
I'm just gonna yell, "They
He's
smell
hiding here.
bad."
They feel
like,
bad.
the mage turns like insults, petty as they are, and you see him turn towards Aleph, and Aleph's like, fuck. And I'm gonna roll a couple of rolls here to determine how this goes. Oh, that's actually
What?
gold.
Damn.
Gold. So you see the mage casting a spell, whispering words, and like his body seems to shift a little bit, and there's this ominous presence that you feel for a moment, and he like has a little black dark orb, and he flicks it towards Aleph, who ducks, and it hits down over here, and you see a black cloud of like gas start to form, and Aleph is like spinning his blade. He's like, oh boy, and he tosses it straight through, and the mage dodges to the side, so his sword gets stuck over here. Right here. I'll put a little drawing for it. Here's the sword. And the mage kind of like chuckles, like, is that the best you've got? And then you see Aelith go, not yet. Working on a plan, honestly. And okay. Let me see. Okay. And the mage says, really, what kind? And then he pops out of existence. And you see Aelith is like, wiping his lip. Fuck. And he looks at all of you. He's like, "Run, go, get the fuck out, fucking weirdos! Don't stare at me."
I think at
I am
first
already
Radagast
going.
hears that and he like stands up to look around like for other places to run to, but he is super confused. He has no idea
He's
what
like,
is going
that
on.
way, that way, that way, and he's pointing towards the exit.
Where?
Like north, like up, like
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, north past the.
Jane's going for the sword.
This tall ass half orc is just
Whoop, looking, and like,
I grab this sword.
you see, like, do you toss it back to him as he like walks over here?
No, I'm
I
dead.
am-
He's like, "Hey, seriously? No!" And you see him start coughing and fall down to a knee. And from elsewhere over here, there's another clap. He's like, "Impressive trick, little priest." And there's boom, and a black cloud, and then you hear, "Oh, fuck! Not like this. You gotta be fucking." And stillness. And the court mage like looks around. You guys can move over to the other end. The court mage looks around, seemingly unaware of anyone else's presence. I was like, "That's one way
Was
to
that
go."
guy killed by taking his sword?
No.
Yes.
And then the second court mage vanishes. He disappeared. Like he walks away casually. And you see in this place where he was before, a little hat flitters down, and a little dark ring. And you guys are technically now out of danger. What do you
That guy
do?
died.
You can go back and look.
I am.
I'm
Fuck
going
that.
to.
Fuck
Jane
that.
feels
I
really
am
bad.
shit.
Yeah, I'm working with the
I
doctor.
got his sword and I go up to him and I like.
So on the ground, this man dressed in a mask, he's like face down, covered in black ichor, and it smells terrible, Jane. And like he's like, "Oh god, oh, you do one nice thing."
Can I look for any? Is there anything growing in the graveyard that I could use as medicine?
Not for this. Not for this. This
Okay.
definitely seems more like an internal poison.
Oh, he's
Okay,
not dead.
No, but he is.
is seeing
He's like on the ground, like.
I'm like,
see-
sorry, I took your sword. It was an
seeing that he's
instinct.
dying.
What can we do to help?
I'm gonna cast Goodberry,
Cool.
and you see these little berries just operate
one down his throat.
in Newman's hand, and I'm just gonna just feed him one, just force feed him one.
And you feed him one, and it's like, and he like vomits it out again, and there's like that black gas. Like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh god, no. And he's like sitting up and leaning back, like, oh fuck, oh Sylvester's gone. Oh.
And then this is your like, let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm trying to help this guy.
I think
He looks
Radagast
at you all.
is around there, but he's like behind like a wall, like peeking over, like he doesn't want to be like seen.
Oh fuck, okay. And you see him like trying to get up, and he's like shaky legs, and he stumbles, and then he walks forward a little bit past Oswald. He's like, "So that was, oh god, my internal organs are falling apart." And
Okay.
like falls on a knee.
Human gives him 2 more good berries.
Yeah.
Eat this. It will make you feel better.
Oh,
God.
nothing's gonna stay down. Sorry. Oh fuck.
Okay.
All right. I'll make
Does
this short.
can human tell what's wrong with him?
You can roll me a medicine check.
Okay.
And Oswald, you can roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, Arcana.
Because you saw the spell
Medicine.
being cast.
Oh.
So, Uman, you have seen people poisoned before. You have seen people like
Okay.
struggling. This is not that, right? Like this is very much like whatever hit him probably should have killed him much faster than it is. And for you, Oswald, you have heard about these sort of necromantic death curses. And one of them that you can like pinpoint here is there's a method that they would use to essentially melt a person from the inside if they were caught in the effect and unable to defend themselves. And normally it's a much faster process, but it looks like whoever this guy he wasn't a slouch. But it wasn't good enough.
Is this man to die?
I'm asking.
Yeah,
There's nothing we can do for him.
yeah.
Do you have any last success?
You see him take his necklace off, and he tosses it to you, Radagast. He's like, okay, maybe someone more important won't take care of it all. And you see him hand you a ring, Radagast, and he falls down.
Oh my god.
I want his mask.
Yeah, I want to
Can
investigate.
I have your mask?
Can I?
you-
So what did he
On the
throw
ground.
me?
He said, I guess someone more important won't handle this, and he gave you a ring and his necklace.
Is
As a sort of as an apology.
are there anything
Yeah.
about the ring or necklace, or are they just like? How would I put it into my inventory?
Nothing right now. You can just note that you have them.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
get into where you get
Yeah,
off
yeah.
that from.
Okay.
You're looting him, right?
So the guy's
I'm
dead,
in-
right?
Yeah. No, well, yep. As far as you can tell, his face down in the
Okay.
ground.
Before you
Uh,
guys touch him, I want to investigate the corpse. Take a good look at it before we touch it.
Flipping it over, you can tell that opening it up is definitely a bad idea, and you can tell like leaking from his mouth is that terrible black magic that was part of the curse.
What the fuck are y'all doing? Let's get
Do
out.
not touch the corpse.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Are there any flowers in the graveyard?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty.
I keep
Okay,
the sword I took and I take his mask and I'm running.
Before running, you
Uh,
just grabbing a flower and just putting on top of his body.
Yeah.
May your soul find some rest, and yeah, just go with the group.
Does the flower melt?
Yeah.
Jane's shaking like a lot though, and maybe even like she looks like scared. And
I think does Radagast
Oh,
notice
sure.
Jane looking pretty scared?
Probably.
I think he turns to her and goes, "It's okay to cry." Right? And I looked to everybody else for some confirmation, but then I realized that nobody else is crying.
even the little cat that's terrified is holding it together a little bit.
Running away.
No,
I'm
she
gonna
might
go.
be-
I'm
she
just
might
gonna
be
go to the
tearing
cat.
up. I feel like the corner of
I'm
her
gonna
eyes
go-
probably have some tears.
I'm gonna go to
Oman,
Jane and just give her a fist bump and a wink.
I think
Radagast, could you roll me a wisdom save?
Yes.
He
Wisdom
bumps
save.
back and like forces.
Oh,
his
hey, look, somebody
Nat
else.
20?
Oh shit.
That's perfect. Radagast, as you're walking and you're looking at this ring, you feel a very like as you're feeling it, it feels like it's alive for a moment, and it's like this might like a part of you is afraid, and you're just kind of like I'm somebody, and
I'm gonna.
take a deep
would
breath.
you like me to identify the ring?
We'll get to that in a second. You take a deep breath, and like these little black wisps off of it, kind of just trail off into your shadow, and then that's it. And we'll talk into how you level up in just a bit.
I think Leo's gonna go off in a corner and he's kind of like pulling up his
Yeah,
sleeve
you
to
guys
look at
are-
one of the tattoos.
Yeah, you would have at this point been able to get into the crypt and make your way out of the city onto the plains outside. And you can see fire and smoke rising from the inside.
Nice.
As we cross like the threshold of like we're about to like actually leave the city, like Jane's gonna stop and pause.
Okay, Oman turns back to her and says, "What's wrong, little Jane?"
I've never left the city before. And she's just
Oh.
I'm gonna
looking
put
back
my-
at it.
I'm gonna put my armor on the cat and say thank you. Today you saved my life.
I think Radagast is gonna hear her say she's never left the city and say something along the lines of, "Now seems like a pretty good day to leave the city, of all days considered."
I'm fucking going back to Wilsden. I need to check up.
Oman says to Jane, "Don't worry, Miss Jane. You're safe with us." And yeah, try to grab her by the hand and just like lead her through.
Out to do?
With
Yeah.
one of them holding her hand and the other one has his hand on her shoulder. She doesn't really say anything, but she walks out of the city. She's probably like crying a little bit at this point.
I'll let her be.
I'm crying a lot though, so
Don't feel bad.
And I'm avoiding the one that's constantly crying.
I don't think I take notice. I'm just kind of in my own world right now.
My exhaustion just went up by like 350%.
My mom is never gonna believe this, guys.
God.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we
Out
we
into
exit
the
city.
out into the city, and that is your first day. At this point, it's not the session isn't over yet. At this point, it's like
Yes.
you're getting out and you're seeing the sun set, and there's this just cold feeling in everybody, like just a shiver, just like things are probably not going to be much better in the coming days. And it's just that acknowledgement that hits everybody pretty hard. I like to think, not like every character reacts the same way over and now. It's just in this moment when you're out on the plains and you can see the burning city behind you. It's like, fuck.
Yeah,
Uh,
seeing the fire and all, Umon just sticks his hand in his pocket where he, kept the little dirt from the houseplant,
Oh,
and just gonna squeeze it a little bit. Just look at the
I
city
think Leo's just
for a
gonna
couple seconds.
stop, stare, take a
Oh.
deep breath, and then I think he's a bit too, he's concerned about his fucking family back in Wilsland. He wants to go back.
I mean, that's a good starting point. So how long into the night do you march? This is a question I'm gonna ask. Or do you just
I think we
Probably
could
as
set
long as my
camp
legs will
soon.
take me, right?
Hmm?
As far as we can go from the city, right?
And that's why I'm asking this, because it's like you guys would like after an hour or two, we would start getting into exhaustion levels if you keep.
Can we
running.
go back to the map page?
Oh yes, yes you can.
Which
Yeah, I
direction did
think-
we leave the city from?
We're trying to. Oh, sorry.
East Gate. So you would be.
Oh, top?
over here.
Top?
You would be over here in the East
Oof.
Gate.
We have to go back to. We're not going to Willesden, dude. We got to go back past the city.
I mean, you could like I'm putting it like you could circle around, but that's like its own risk.
I think we
that
should just
sounds
head
very
to.
dangerous.
I think we should just head to the city that's on the top. This is me as a
Uh,
player, not. But
I
I think
think
Kotun would be the
we
best.
need to find a place to hide, so we should head towards that.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Well, we
Yeah,
could head
or
to
in the
Blackstone,
woods.
couldn't we?
I know the woods to the northeast a little bit, so we could hide there if the city doesn't look like it's going to work out.
So
but that's pretty far though, right?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
what do we know about
Blackstone.
Blackstone?
I mean,
In the World Anvil, it is a prison for the most part. It is a store.
Yeah,
It's-
I don't.
it's-
I
It's
don't
sunset,
think.
right?
Hmm?
It's sunset at this time.
Yeah. It's sunset.
Okay, maybe we could try and find. Maybe I can keep an eye. Human keeps an eye out, just for like, maybe walk for an hour or something and try to find somewhere to hide, like a little forest or a group of trees or something.
Yeah.
Something
or a
off
cave.
the road.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
off the
Yeah,
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll me a survival.
we are
Okay.
technically close to the dead man. Oh, nah.
Can we?
We're not going to the.
Are we all rolling a survival?
No, just Uman.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
super good. So Uman,
Druid shit.
you're used to this.
I'll
You're
trust the
used to
druid's instincts on this one.
Yeah.
you guys would get to like about here-ish, like on the map, out of sight, out of any direct line where the light would see the road. So like you're off-road into like fields, heavy like.
So
big
what's
green-
around us, like right now?
Right outside the city, there are these large plains, rolling plains. And the Dead Mounds are these massive hills in the far distance. But it's like tall grass and like it's like very empty and
So-
barren.
So right
so no
now,
fires.
So right now, like at
Question.
the point we're in around
Does-
us.
Does Leo feel anything?
One
Uh,
second.
we'll talk about that in just a
Oh,
minute.
god damn it.
Yeah, I'm just asking like what we right now have around us. Like, is
It's
it
a lot
just
of tall
fields?
grass. Yeah, it's
It's a lot of
fields.
tall grass.
Like I'll use the little tool. It's like
Mhm.
these hexes over here are mostly plains.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I got a question. If I were to set up a two-person tent, how badly would?
I mean, like you would set up a 2-person tent.
I'm probably
No,
gonna sleep
but-
in the fetal position, so I'm only really half a person.
I think Leo is just gonna. The moment we hit the fields, just like fucking collapses.
Okay. Human is taking out the bedroll that he has and saying, Mr. Doctor, Miss Jean, if any of you want to use this bedroll, you are welcome to. I don't need it. And I just lay it on the ground and let them decide.
I think I have one of my own.
I also have one.
Yeah, I have my
Okay.
own, so I'm good.
Everybody's got a bedroll.
Nice.
Okay, okay. Yeah, human is just sitting in the grass, just kind of touching the grass around him lightly, just kind of meditating.
I'm gonna read the book until I go to sleep.
Cool.
I think Radagast is gonna faceplant into the grass and just keep sobbing and not moving for a little while.
Leo's gonna get
Jake,
a
what are you
little
doing with
pat
the
on the
mask and
shoulder.
sword you got?
I don't
Oh, do you
know.
want me to identify that stuff?
They're not magical, by the way.
No, they're the ring
It's
and
kind
the
of
amulet.
like spaced out right now.
No,
It just kind of has it right
the
now.
necklace is more a home symbol, and the ring, whatever magic it had, is gone at this point.
Yeah,
Okay,
but,
so there's
but do
nothing-
I
Is it
know?
sword? Is it a
Okay.
short sword?
Do we know that
Or
the
is it a
magic is
long
gone from the
sword or
ring?
what?
Because
It's a long sword. And yeah, Radagast has been holding the ring the whole time.
I handed over to let him identify it, so he can tell me what's magical about it. Even though I
It
know
is-
It ain't,
eyes
it
are
ain't
fixed.
magic
This is
anymore.
This is just junk. There's nothing.
Oh, okay.
Jane's not paying really much attention to anyone, but if Oswald were to ask her for the sword to identify it, she would just let him have
What
it.
about the mask? What are you doing with that? That's what I'm asking.
The mask, yeah, if he wants to identify that too, yeah, she'd let him. But right now, she just has it like her backpack's on her back, and she has the mask like over her backpack, like a turtle shell.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can just tell her that. I mean, yeah, I'll keep this. Is it a long sword? You said?
Yes. It has. Very
Oh, I
interesting
can't carry that around.
Yeah, I don't know if she was
I'll-
carrying it, but I guess she
I'll
can.
take
Actually,
it.
it's not
I'm
heavy.
gonna give it to the. I'm gonna give it to the Jamaican dude, the big guy.
You're giving me what?
Long sword.
You can have the long sword.
Long sword.
Okay.
I don't have a weapon.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone who doesn't
Poor
want it.
fucking guy.
Yeah, give it
Radagast.
to the cleric.
Yeah, to Radagast. I hand it to Radagast.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't think I've swung a sword in a while.
Leo like patted him on the shoulder, and I think he's like a little bit off in a secluded area, and he's like put up his sleeve so that he can see just the tattoos.
Yeah. Roll me a d4, Leo, by the way.
Oh, we're doing that? Yes.
We're doing that.
3.
That's the best one. Let me check the list. I have it, but I want to make sure it's the right effect I'm thinking of. Cool. Yeah, so as all of you guys are resting, and Leo, you see like Leo is like looking at his arms, staring at it. To clarify, his arm is covered in his left arm is covered in tattoos, with these symbols, and it looks like they almost look like eyes all the way, and it reaches around his shoulder up to the nape of his neck. But that's not what you guys notice. It's like after Leo passes out, as like on the side, his shadow, whenever it moves, you swear to God, it's looking at you, it's staring at you, and sometimes it blinks, and there are like eyes in it for just a moment, and boom, gone.
His shadow?
Yep.
Okay.
I love you.
I think
It's
Radagast
there.
definitely goes fetal position and around the sword, and then just tries to cry himself to sleep. I guess. Silent sobs. He's not trying to bother anybody. He just wants to be out of the way.
There's several reasons why I don't think Jane actually sleeps tonight, and we'll probably just take an exhaustion.
You just rolled me a con save first, and if it's below 10, you get exhaustion for tonight.
Does she want to sleep or does she not want to sleep?
It's a can't sleep.
I think
Really
Radagast
sleep.
should also have to roll for that.
That's true.
I mean,
And you said
So,
it's just
I hope.
Yeah. she's exhausted.
so Oswald just walks up to the both of them and brings them close together and casts sleep.
I love it.
That's great.
That's great.
That's great. Actually, Radagast
You
is
would
a
need
half
no
elf.
rest.
Huh?
Radagast is a half elf, so he's not asleep.
Yeah.
Dropped.
I-
So
Fucking
Jane
yeah.
just kind of like she's staring and then boom drifts off into sleep.
I'm gonna catch her and lay her down gently in her bedroll.
I'm gonna
Radagast
pretend like
is
it worked
good.
on me, and then I'm gonna thumbs up like he was obviously trying to put me to sleep, and then I'm just gonna like fetal position around the sword.
I'm gonna continue to avoid him.
I'm used
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. Human is also staying far from him.
Everybody's staying away from the guy that's probably had the really
He needs
shitty-
a
Serious
hug.
emotional problems, yeah.
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 All right, so we'll get into Radagast's thing first before we get to Leo's.
Oh boy.
Mostly because Radagast doesn't fall asleep. In the night, Radagast, it's just like everything is dark. You feel very alone, and it's like not even these strangers who saved you are like giving you a high five. And then it's that familiar voice of Aelith who's like, "So you're just gonna fucking sit there and cry?
Yes.
Get the fuck up, dumbass!"
I like shakily stand up, I guess.
Yeah, everyone's sleeping for the most part.
My shadow
like-
looking at you.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
shadow.
like that. I'm
you
really
swear the
upset by
shadow.
the shadow that's
Uh,
looking at me.
You like turn around and it's like seated by the mask. You can see what you think is the ghost of Aelith.
Can I like try and
uh,
touch the ghost?
by the
Can I
back-
try and put my hand through it?
Yeah, it goes
It's from
to
the
it's
mask.
like-
Finger the ghost.
it's seated by the mask.
Oh,
On
okay.
his back.
I was gonna say because
I was
the
like-
mask is on my backpack. That's funny.
Mhm, yeah, you know, he's like, "What? You're just gonna sit there, cry, and accept that ending?
Yeah.
Why?"
I don't know.
I mean, you've been beaten up all your life, insulted, treated like shit, and you're just gonna let it.
I don't know how you
you're
know
just gonna
that, but I mean, I don't want this to be like this. You know, I'm not like, yes, I can't wait to fucking wake up every day and get the shit
Then do
beat out of me.
something.
Do what? What can I do?
A lot of things. Seriously, I'm not joking.
What?
You have a sword now. You have my necklace, and it's like you don't remember putting it on at any point, but it's on you, and it's like,
Does it
and
look
you have a
good?
little bit
Yeah.
of, yeah, it does not fit your current aesthetic.
Oh man.
And he's like, so are you just gonna accept being a nobody forever, or are you gonna finally fucking man up and be someone? Stand straight.
Oh, I was kind of hoping to be a nobody.
Yeah, beat up, bullied, knocked down all your life.
All
How
right,
fucking cool.
I'll give it a shot. What do you want me to do?
Believe in something or someone or yourself. I don't fucking know.
Ugh. Okay.
You have to find your answer.
Okay, this has been a very unhelpful ghost.
Well, you were very unhelpful when you were alive.
I'm sorry that I walked in on you ripping people's hearts out.
You fucking threw up on the floor at the first sign of blood. And now there are psychopaths killing people left and right. What are you gonna do? Throw up again?
Probably.
What? So you can
It-
kneel
Look,
over
I'm
and
not
die?
saying I don't
Is
want
this,
it to
is
be
this
like.
all out loud?
Radagast is probably arguing with nobody, as far as everybody else can tell.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to ask the same because I was
I
about
would,
to say.
I
Can
would
I
like
roll
to
to
make
see how
that perception
quiet
check
I've
with
been?
disadvantage.
Leo, yeah, we'll get Leo. You don't wake up.
Well, actually-
You're getting a different time.
Oh yeah, I
Because-
forgot. Tell some Japanese
human-
fan.
Human is kind of meditating, and I was about to say that I would get the first watch of the night.
Yeah. Open an eye, you just see Radagast in the corner yelling at himself.
Okay, I'm just gonna like still sitting on the grass, like wiggle a little bit more away from him. Just try to
Can I,
follow the-
can I
the
roll a
more the
perception check
meditation.
to notice that he is trying
or
to?
what?
I think Radagast, you wouldn't notice because you're pretty engrossed in this. The ghost is fucking shit talking you. It's one of those
Well,
things
what's
like this
new?
has your
Everybody's
attention.
shit talking me.
But he's like, he points at that necklace. Says that is from someone who doesn't care. Not about you, not about me, not about anybody else. But you know what? You know what? That symbol right on your neck is from somewhere where power comes from.
The
All he
power to-
cares about is the dead, Dernick. I wouldn't call him my savior, but the only reason I lived as long as I did was him.
Are we talking about?
And now, yeah,
maybe the
my
power
necklace.
to do something
to
better?
be someone, to be somebody, dumbass.
Right, obviously to be somebody. It just I should have known, but you're just yelling at me a lot, and
Well, yeah, I'm a very angry ghost.
I think Redigan starts to probably cry a little bit more.
Yeah. See. What are you just gonna let my death be in vain? Be someone. Live up to those expectations.
Who's it?
Grow into somebody useful.
Okay, how? Can you?
Not that difficult. What do you
It's
mean?
pretty
How?
difficult.
You'll figure it out. You have to.
Okay,
I love it so much.
You have to, Radagast, for
Ha-
yourself. And then the ghost is gone.
well,
The
fuck.
ghost is done shit talking you.
And now you just realize you're out in the field. You took Jane's bag out slightly, and you like set it up so you were staring at the mask.
Man, this is the second worst night of my life.
First, don't lie.
I know.
Would,
I
would you
think,
like to go to sleep?
What?
I'll swear you
Have you
just
been awake this whole
everybody.
time?
The tug on his like, I got another spell slot. I mean, what the hell?
Fey ancestry, man. It's impossible.
I think I might just go on a walk by myself, but very close to
Go.
camp, but by myself for a little while.
And then roll me a wisdom check. Actually, on that
does,
walk.
A wisdom check
Does-
or a wisdom saving throw?
Check.
Check.
does human notice him on his walk?
Probably you would see him going
okay.
to take a walk.
I'm not that
Okay.
far from the thing. Like, I'm pretty close to
Yeah.
everybody still, but like just by
Cool.
myself.
So, like, you're just walking and you see, like, on your neck, the symbol, and it's the words, it's strength. And it's like, you want strength, don't you? And it's just like a simple prayer is all it takes. And that thought echoes in your head. Is like, a god of death, a god of destruction. All he cares about. Well, is that.
Do I know that from Darenick in like the lore of the
Yeah,
world?
that you wouldn't know that. Like Radagast definitely wouldn't know that, but he gets a feeling like when he's holding on to this amulet, and he's got a ghost in his head now.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that Radagast. I don't think he's initially excited about the idea of becoming strong.
Yeah, but
he
it's,
doesn't.
it's definitely like a warm backbone, right?
Huh?
Yeah, I was trying to make it so it's like a. Right
Just-
now, he probably doesn't feel it. He'll get there.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that he doesn't want to burden these people. He doesn't want anybody to die because of him. So I think he would probably reach out for something, so he doesn't get anybody killed or hurt.
And
But very
You remember
tentatively reaching out.
you remember the only prayer you heard from Elath is, "May the dark guide me," and that's their first prayer. And we'll get into you learning different ones as you level up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Does Radagast utter the prayer and then something like immediately happen?
It's more like a familiarity with something that it's unfamiliar, but it feels right? Like it feels like focus, inhale, exhale, and it's like not necessarily a direct surge, but it's like a warmth that he feels and is going to now more consistently feel, and he can draw on that to cast spells. That's my explanation for his spell slots. Is he feels that
He feels.
strength? He feels it. He feels the power in
He
his
feels
bones.
the strength.
I feel the power.
And now you have. You'll have to get your armor somewhere else. I thought you would have taken some when he was committing the murder.
Well,
But it's
yeah, I
fine.
considered it, but I don't think that's something that Radagast would have done. I think that would have been. I mean,
He's
somebody
now
gets.
on the path. He's now on the path to be someone cool.
I'm curious to know though what he smells like too. Now that he has magic, what does he smell like?
Death and
Naked
decay.
cleric.
Let's
Death and
go.
decay.
Does this also kind of the reaching out to like the dark sort of play into the shadow touch as well?
We'll get into the shadow touch when you actually fall asleep next time.
Okay.
So tomorrow would he smell different than he did
Yes.
yesterday? To
Yes, he
Jane?
would.
Oh
Yes, he
god.
would. So we'll get into Leo's nightmare. That's gonna be a
Hey,
fun one.
Delson
So, Leo.
Jaffe, everyone.
Fuck off. So you, like in your sleep, you doze off, and then you find yourself in that same room where you pulled out that sword, and it's just like eyes everywhere, sword in the hilt, and like you touch it, nothing happens, and your hand goes through, and you realize this is not. You're not here you're not here again, and you hear a tap, 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 and a room as the door seals, and you see like the coattails, that familiar coattails, and that sense of dread and you can hear the voice of the court magician go, and that seals that problem away. And
What? Yes.
and now you know why that feeling of dread was always there. Yeah, that's your first.
Oh.
That's your first part of the nightmare. The second
Oh,
one is
no.
now you when you see that you turn back into a room and it is like empty inky void and just eyes opening watching you, and it's like, oh boy, you feel a very deep and ancient. It's like looking into the eyes of something that is much much older and wiser than you, and it blinks, and then it just stares at you. What do you do?
What the fuck? I think Leo is just sitting there, and I think he knows it's a lucid dream, right?
He's
Like,
probably realized it at this point.
I think the curiosity gets the best of him, and instead of just crawling up in a ball and having a panic attack in his dream, he's going to be just, what the fuck are you? And he kind of chuckles nervously. What?
And then that fuzzy word in your head for a moment and it's knowledge. It clears up after a moment. And then you wake up in the morning. And everyone, as you wake up, or for some of you are like long nights are finally over, you see there's this cold air blowing in. And there's not any fog here, but it feels chillier than it was. And it's still, like I said, early spring, and it's feeling surprisingly cold. And even though the sun is like rising, it doesn't feel as bright or vibrant. And where do you go?
Leo wakes up last, and he's just like, you know, where you just had a nightmare, just fucking just sit straight up.
Sweat, cold sweat.
Yeah.
Jane probably has no idea that she's probably just surprised that she actually was able to fall asleep and doesn't have any idea that she had a spell cast on
He's
her.
taking out a notebook and he's writing it all down.
Can I say that maybe Yumon like wake up kind of early and try to look
Yeah.
around for any food or something to like feed the party or whatever?
Sure, roll me a surround.
Yes, survival. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you
Jesus.
find a couple of
Rooey
flowers.
shit.
What
Yeah, a couple of flowers that most people wouldn't consider edible, but you know they're very sweet, and it's not like berries because there's no berries out here, but it is something edible. And like with these roots and a bit of water, it wouldn't be the best tasting food, but it would be nourishing. And you've eaten them before, so they'll probably like them.
Okay.
I have a question.
So-
Oh.
Mhm.
Do you think
Yeah.
Radagast probably went to sleep because he found like the new feeling within himself? To
He
become
probably
pretty-
dozed. He probably dozed off, but not enough to long rest.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
So
'cause I-
Jane pulls out the 3 remaining croissants from her bag and like puts 2 of them out like for the group, just like kind of public, open right there, and then she keeps one and breaks off a corner of it and gives it to Panda, and then
Nom, 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 nom,
eats
nom.
the rest of it.
He's gonna take
okay.
out some beef jerky and he's just gonna start munching.
I'm gonna pick up one of the croissants that Jane put out and just take like the smallest possible bite out of it that I can.
Pretty good.
Yumon,
Radagast.
Yumon is eating the flowers, of course, and he's gonna offer one to Oswald.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, I guess, for breakfast I'll have a croissant and a flower.
Nice.
Oswald,
Fantastic.
thank you very much.
I'm
That's-
gonna walk up the Rada.
You know, Miss Love pastries.
Yeah, doctor. You just put it in your mouth and start eating. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really
I
it's
already-
really sweet actually.
He already ate it. He's a forest gnome. He's down.
Oh yeah.
Down.
Yeah, Portal, quick question. Do I have any more
Yeah.
cupcakes? I have
Yeah, you
only
have a
3.
couple. Yeah,
So
you have
did I get
you got a
6
full
cupcakes
dozen.
too?
You
I
got a full dozen.
dozen. What? Oh my god. All right, I have 9
God
cupcakes
damn.
left.
Gotta eat them
Um,
quick. They go bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna put 2 cupcakes out too.
I'm probably full.
See.
He's not very big, so a croissant in a flour sounds good.
Yeah,
Takes-
I don't know if Uman's good with just flowers. I,
I
don't know.
Ah,
I think Leo might be down for
Leo is
cupcakes.
stress eating.
Yeah, I was about to say like he takes a cupcake, looks like even worse than before, and just
yeah, Uman,
Yeah, eat up.
Uman
just
will
in
grab
one go.
a cupcake too.
Can I smell my bag and see if I smell the remnants of a ghost on it?
Roll me investigation.
Boogity boogity boogity.
Are you smelling for a ghost? Are you just smelling stuff?
I am a Ghostbuster.
Trying to see if I can smell
Who
it.
you gonna
I think
call?
I'm just trying to see if she would notice. You know, I'm trying to find it. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
fuck.
Natural
as you're
20.
sniffing and you're moving around the mask, you hear a hey, hands off, paws off.
I'm gonna hiss at it
I
and
love it.
like scratch at the air between me and the mask, and then I'm gonna just swat the mask off
Hey,
my
hey,
back.
ah!
And then
Can I stop
And then
Jane
pull-
from
and then-
swatting the mask a bunch of times?
and then I don't swat it a bunch of times, just once. I just push it off my back,
And Bristol went
and
back
then I
up.
pull my bag,
Fucking great.
and then I pull my bag away from
Great.
it,
In
and then
great. In great.
Can I pick up the
I
mask
keep
now?
hissing at it.
Yeah, you could definitely pick up the mask. In great.
I'd pick up the
And
mask. then.
Jane, you can smell it. It smells like an old dead cellar, almost. Very
Right.
rotting and dusty.
That mask looks cool, but it smells disgusting.
Wow.
Fucking cats.
That's a really weird thing to say. Well, I mean, it was on a dead guy, so you know.
Well,
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't dead for a long time. He had just died.
Well,
It wasn't
maybe
like
he
a
smelled
rotting
bad.
corpse. It was.
I'm gonna just say we're walking and talking.
Probably like it's probably packing up camp and talking.
Yeah.
I have my one bed rule.
Does the mask do anything?
Did
if
anyone
I-
else eat that other cupcake?
If you put it on, is that what you asked?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I
I was
guess.
waiting on you. If I put on the mask or anything, does it do anything for me?
Yeah. 1 second. You put on
Well,
the mask, and everything has a greenish tint in the lenses, and you wipe them, and it's like, oh, that's weird. It smells terrible in here, like a little bit of blood. And you can see Ayla's ghost is like, so what? You're just gonna wear my dead clothes? Really?
I
And he's
could
like
leave
standing
the
in front of you.
mask.
You can what?
I could just leave it, right? I mean,
Then you wouldn't find out how to do anything.
okay, well, that's a good point. All right. No, I won't wear your clothes. And then I put the mask in my backpack.
Sweet.
Why
I
are you
also s-
talking to yourself?
Can I roll
Does
an
Jane
insight
know
to...
he's not talking to himself? Do I know he's
Can I
talking
roll
to the
insight
mask?
to
Jane-
decide if I should
Jane,
lie about talking to
you-
myself or not?
Jane, when you were batting it, you heard the words "fucking stop it." So you know it's not necessarily normal.
He's probably talking to the mask.
Can I...
What
I think the mask talks. That's what I think it is.
would I know of like ghosts being trapped in masks?
You can
and
roll me an
shit?
Arcana, like
Arca-
Oswald did.
Can I know if I should be
Yeah.
keeping the ghost a secret or not? Can I roll to know something about that?
I think it's too late.
It's too late.
I could still bluff it, you know?
you could still
What the
blame me
fuck's my
like them.
Arcana? There it is.
Yeah. Okay, so Leo, you got no fucking idea. It's like your
I
brain
think
is not-
knowledge is still.
And the word knowledge is just ringing in your head and it's giving you shivers. Oswald, you've heard of very powerful, potent spirits. If they feel themselves particularly aggressive or unfinished with their business, yeah, vengeful sometimes, that they may not pass on. Though you've
It's a
never
haunted
quite-
mask.
It's haunted by a
Or like in the book.
friend.
I think Leo's fine to be in the dark, so I'm just gonna whisper it to Jane. What exactly is going on with the mask?
It was talking to me, and it smells like dead people.
Yeah, and I'm gonna explain that it's because it's haunted.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna climb up onto the closest big person next to me's head and look around.
Who's the closest big person to you?
And I don't know.
Probably Uman.
Yeah,
I
probably.
I climb onto his shoulders and my paws are on top of his head and I'm looking around and I'm like, Doc,
Okay.
look at all this grass.
But can she see from up there,
I
or
can't-
do I have?
Oh, yeah.
I can't see shit.
Are there like any trees nearby, like in a little bit of distance?
Not full large trees, but yeah, there's one or two.
I'm
along the road.
gonna
That's
split
sunny
off,
out. She's
go towards
noticing
that
the
tree.
grass everywhere.
It's also as a reminder that it's while it's daylight, it is not as warm as it usually is. It's much colder.
Okay. I'm gonna go towards the like a tree that's out of sight from everyone else,
Mhm.
and because the dream and the fucking blast he just fired, he's gonna pull up his sleeve, extend his hand, and he's just gonna try and remember that moment and
That feeling, and it's mostly calling on that fear, and it's like for you when you feel those eyes blink at you, and it's like the memory is fresh in your head, and it's like blast, and it's like a burst of focus into the fields of grass, and it's much
Umon-
more controlled now.
Yeah,
It's time for us to go.
Umon is gonna lift Oswald up as well, just so he can see like stuff, just not buried in the grass.
back to the group. How I
Alright, so
imagine
I'm
Eldritch
gonna
Blast.
look and point us back to the road.
Well, when he lifts Oswald up, I'm gonna say to Oswald, I'm like, have you ever seen this much grass before?
What
Yeah,
upbeat
just
music!
around.
Holy shit!
Circle.
Wait till you see the trees. You go, yeah.
And then I climb
For
down.
how I imagine Eldritch Blast is like the eyes just kind of like one by one just really fast light up and like sickly like it's basically like a sickly green sphere just kind of shoots out.
Boom. At least now it has color. Before it didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, you're
Now it
fighting a
has
tree?
He's shooting it out into the fields.
Oh, okay,
It
okay.
may have hit a tree,
He
but
may
I,
have hit a tree.
you don't know. I don't think you saw it.
I don't know.
Okay.
But
Okay, so human just like
It
puts
blasts the
Oswald
tree apart.
back on the ground and ask, okay, Dr. Oswald, I'm under your employment, so I will do whatever you decide we are doing. What are we doing, Dr. Oswald?
I
Well,
will.
we agreed all this yesterday, right? So we're just going to continue towards Croton to the north.
does Jane know about Croton? She's written books about the kingdom and stuff. Does she know
Yeah.
the general like summary of it? That it's like
Yeah.
wizards and
Yep.
that kind of
It-
thing.
It's a town run by a wizard.
Yeah.
and
So
it's
it's
very
like a wizard focused town, but it's known for good food too. So that she probably would know about it because she probably likes that detail.
Yeah,
It's just-
that is so good. Let's back to the road. Here we go.
you guys would
Yeah,
also notice offside the road, you could hear, especially Uman, early in the evening, horses out in the distance right now.
Okay. So I could hear him in the night, but right
Mhm.
now I can also hear them.
No, I said early in the morning as like the sun
Okay.
rose. Uman
Okay.
would-
So we're off the road and we heard it towards
yeah,
the
yeah.
road.
Like
Okay.
he would,
I'm gonna.
like he's got the sharp enough, and also he has
Yeah.
alert.
Should we travel parallel to the road as long as we're on foot?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell the
No,
group about
we'll be
the
on it.
danger that maybe we could face. So
Oh yeah, we don't know. Do you know that?
maybe we would want to keep out of sight.
Leo's looking extremely worried now.
It's not a problem for me. I'm tiny and I have stealth proficiency, so
Yeah.
this is good cover in grasslands for me.
Yeah. I like invisible.
I
in
just hope
grass
that they
as
don't
long as it's
spread
over
out.
2 feet tall.
All right.
And I think that's a good point to wrap up our first session with session 0
Okay.
for the introductions.
Tell us in
Comments?
Japanese, everyone.
Comments, concerns, anything at all?
No, thank you very
Guys,
much.
By the way,
I think I
Yeah.
covered
so
so much
level-
Thank you very much, Portal. That was amazing.
Wait, what'd you
do
say?
level up, by the way.
We're level 2.
Oh,
Level 2, gang, let's go.
Yeah.
We're already level
it's
2.
about power leveling.
All right.
Well, you
I
see,
don't
How,
know, like that.
how do you level?
Don't say
in
it like that. Don't be
role-playing?
the guy who says, run it, give us more homework. Say, oh, it's great to level up. Thank you. That's
No,
I mean,
love
it's
that.
amazing.
think
It's
we
amazing.
have
Very
Doing well.
exciting for us.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited that I get to cry and gain XP from that.
hey, Radagast had I think Radagast's arc is very
You
good
have mastered
as a
crying,
parallel.
sir.
Oh, absolutely.
very good
But
parallel
it's
to this
not
one.
gonna. He's not gonna be anything at the start. I knew that. I mean,
It's great.
Jane cried a bit too.
okay.
It's
Is this
okay
a
to
cry off,
cry.
bro?
I think that the only people that were like kind of level-headed throughout the whole traumatic experience were Oswald and Human. I think everyone else was pretty shook.
Yeah, Oswald
It's
has
a personality
experience
trait.
too. Oswald
Yeah.
has it, and then Uman is also he's been trained for shit to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, he has,
personality
he has
trait.
some
I am
shit.
always calm no matter the situation. I never let my emotions control me.
Ah, that's great.
So yeah, he doesn't.
Okay, time to
Comments,
get.
comments, concern, any questions?
Level up.
When's the next one? Next Sunday?
How? Yeah, that one, and also how do you like? I know what to do to level up. Like I've thought about it, but like how do I do that in the character sheet in
If you
roleplay?
go to the little gear at the top right under your name, right next to spells, you scroll down, you launch level charactermancer, level plus.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I clicked it for
where?
you, and
What?
you just go through it.
Okay.
um,
Okay. Thank you.
You go to the little gear, you go launch character or launch level plus charactermancer over here at the bottom right.
Yeah, give me a second. My laptop's
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
shit.
cunning action.
It's loading.
Oh, I get the. I get my divine
Yeah, I'm-
domain thing.
I'm happy we're level 2 because I still don't have my wild shape until level 2, so it's been a bit weird to like make a combat and not be able to turn into a fucking something. All right.
I'm glad you guys had fun. It's glad to have people
Yes.
interested and excited to roleplay.
It was a lot of fun.
A
Oh, you did it. You did it for me. Okay, yeah, I'll get on. I'll get on it. I'll get on it. Yeah, great job, everybody.
yeah.
It's pretty fun.
that was really cool.
Let's see, 17 HP.
I told you I had a plan.
I really like this because my character actually seems like a superhero now more than I thought he would.
He definitely feels like he's gonna figure it. Like the thought process is, man, he's gonna turn into an edgelord. But we got it. We got
But I
the.
doesn't have to
humble
say it
origin
like that.
of
I
it.
didn't.
Yeah,
He's not
no,
written
it's-
exactly
it's-
like that.
It's,
I really
it's-
like how like
Yeah.
every character has like a good role like in the group, like has like the right mix of archetypes and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a
It's pretty
really
fun.
good job like or kind of organically melding us together too. I like that. It was
Yeah,
cool.
you guys are very cohesive in making it easy for me.
Yeah, I was having trouble trying to figure out how I was gonna get to everybody, and then I realized I could just run away.
That's why I figured I'd ring a bell, even though it gave away my position. Be like, all right, everybody,
Yeah.
come over here, and then that would give you a cue to be like, okay,
Yeah.
there's something I could follow.
Yeah, Oswald is just Human's boss for the rest of the campaign. So yeah.
Yeah, although I'm probably never going to actually pay you unless we somehow do retrieve
Yeah,
my gold.
exactly. But
You're not getting paid anymore, boy.
Just, I mean, Umon doesn't know how employment works, so he just
So
expects you
he's
to
the,
pay.
he's the Jamaican
at some
guy with
point-
7 jobs. Like, he just takes whatever jobs he can get, and it shows
Yeah,
up and does whatever
exactly.
he's told to do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the concept of money is pretty new to Umon.
Fuck.
He's been living in the woods for a long
Oh,
time.
I have a
so-
barbarian who's the same way. I love it. Every time I walk into a market and I like something, like if I like a weapon, I'll just hand my weapon that I currently have to the shop owner and take the one that I want and walk away. It's like, to me, this makes sense. I give you my old weapon, I take a new weapon, everything good.
Yeah.
Glad you guys had so much fun. It's one of
Yeah, it
those.
was pretty fun.
It's one of those. Like I said, the first couple sessions are very defining. And I'm really glad that I managed to nail the subtle terror that's building up, and then actual fucking slaughter.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
part where I cried.
Let's go.
I don't know. That was
I
good.
have
I'm
2
excited
spell slots now.
already.
I'm really
What
sad
did you
that I
think,
made this
our
character
wonderful little
completely
spectator? You can feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
goofball. Hey, Anakin.
Yeah.
Silence.
What's
No,
up?
he's-
What's up?
Hey.
Pleasure to meet you.
What's
Hello.
going on, everybody? That was one hell of a. Sorry, I kept muting myself halfway through the call.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, no, that was pretty cool. That's the first time I've actually sat down on one of those. My brother plays that shit all the time, but like, or plays D&D all the time. But he's like, yeah, we'll do a campaign together. Made a
That'll
whole
never
character.
happen.
Motherfucker never joined me. I was like,
We can move over to general if you guys would like.
Yeah, sorry, I left. I left. Chat by accident.
No, it's okay.
You're
We can move. We can move over there just so other people can harass
Nah.
us.
Yeah, sure.
Not
Oh,
yet.
I do have a
like,
question.
We're still talking about the
Yeah,
campaign.
true,
so.
true.
What is an optional? Is an optional channel divinity? Would that replace my divine domain?
Which no optional do option means you can do both.
It says it's harness divine power. I can touch my holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain one expended spell slot. The
Yeah,
level of
no,
which
that's
can...
just
You can do that? That's amazing.
that's
Holy
Tasha's.
shit.
That's new.
All right.
Yeah,
God,
it's a new option. Yeah, it's pretty
Yep.
good.
I'm about to be
That's
way
great.
stronger than I thought I was.
I'm just excited to just like turn into a squirrel exactly like Panda and try to confuse Jane.
High five, high five. Scroll five.
Yeah,
She'll
yeah.
smell you. You
What
smell
do?
like
Ah, yeah, you're right.
Warlock with
Yeah.
Tasha's.
which would be fun if you did it to not confuse her,
Let's
but
see.
to play.
How do you level on roll 20? Where is
There's
it?
a little gear. There's a little gear right next to spells. Scroll down to the bottom. It says level plus character mancer.
I just did it. It actually worked really well. But I'm a rogue, so I don't have spells.
It lets you add SRD spells or custom spells from the normal stuff. It's just like the character mancer before. The only thing you would ever have problems with is when you're using non-SRD stuff. You'll have to add the stuff manually, but it does most of the work, which is really nice.
It also will automatically update your spell slots
Mhm.
for your class.
That was a long rest, right? Because
Yeah.
Not for
I
me.
casted one thing to
I
try
didn't
to.
expect shit.
To
Yeah, I
help
did.
Yeah,
I casted good berries just so if I could
Uh,
try to revive that guy.
what did you guys think about your fun little NPCs? I tried to keep it
I
not
heard
not
you.
too.
Oh, sorry.
I like Thea, and I really hope. I know that Jane.
She's hoping Thea's fine.
Hopes Thea's okay, and hope Thea made it out. Yeah. And
Uh,
there's probably a couple other like people in the Thieves Guild or like that are like associated with her in the town that she's kind of
Mugway?
worried about. You know? Yeah, Mugway.
I'm worried that it's gonna fucking go over to I forgot the name, but you
Will's
know.
done.
Yep.
Who knows?
I really liked Mr. Barmaid.
Yes.
I really hope he survived the massacre thing.
I'm
Oh,
curious.
that-
Did I hear Talking Dog? Did I hear you mention the name of a soldier?
Yes.
Was
Darren
that
Lee.
Yeah.
Darren Lee? Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah, Sir Darren. That was my name drop.
I
Right,
caught that. I was like,
To get
ooh.
things done.
He,
Yeah,
he's
so
doing his
we keep note of that. Maybe it'll come in handy. Somebody else will know him. Like,
I-
shit.
17 HP, boys. Let's go.
Let's go. It's nice.
Yeah, and I have 2 spell slots now, which means Armor of Agni and Hex.
Wait, are we rolling? Are we doing the roll for HP? The
You can
Yeah.
take out. You can do either.
roll, and if we go lower, take the average.
No. I make the statement of if you're gonna roll, you gotta commit.
I'm not gonna. I'm taking average.
Dude, that's me though.
All right.
That's literally.
Oh,
I will,
Oof.
because I gotta. Yeah.
isn't that
Yeah, I rolled a
a
2.
reroll?
you rolled a 1.
This is why we take average.
I'll never
Okay,
be
DM.
average.
Can you give mercy?
wizard.
And if it's a 1, you may
roll.
roll.
I'll give you one merciful reroll this first session.
Yes.
Oh my okay.
Hey, okay, hold on. Well, hear me out real quick.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna re-roll it. I'll take the 2. I was fine with the 2 anyway.
Wow, hey,
Okay.
listen, can we just first session? We just
Yeah,
forget
you can
this
take the
ever
average.
happened.
This is me allowing you to learn your lesson.
All right, I'll learn my lesson.
Yep. in the future.
hell.
Just be aware.
Yes.
I'm at least for the first few levels not
But it
rolling.
doesn't. You don't have access to everything. So I'm gonna have to type everything in anyway because I don't have access to.
You can copy and paste them.
I got
Yeah, to the arcane tradition, I can't get anything out of it. You know, it only gives you evocation as an option.
Doesn't it have a custom subclass option?
I'm looking.
Yeah, it
No.
should have.
I mean,
Maybe it has to be later. I don't think the character master does it.
Do I have the most life still, or does
By-
somebody have more HP than I do?
How much HP do you have?
I think if I take the average, I'll have 17.
I think you can continue
I'll
without
have
putting a subclass.
Yeah, I think I
We
just
both
have to
have
do it that
17.
way and then just go edit the document. So I'm going to use Aurora to do everything and then just type it all in.
Yeah,
Okay,
because what I've done is basically since I don't have Hexblade on roll 20 or on D&D Beyond, I just copy and pasted like Hex Warrior, Hexblade's Curse, all that on my feats and traits.
So wait, he just has a bag of 100 gold.
Yeah, you guys got 100 gold from.
Whoa, hey, you guys!
Caleb.
I think
But he has 100 gold.
I
You have 100.
I think
I
I
have
have to go buy
5.
some armor with 100 gold.
I got
Maybe-
1 gold.
I got
As
25
a
gold.
reminder, it is blood money.
Fuck
Blood
it.
money spends the same.
No witnesses.
That's true. There's very few witnesses.
Yeah, and also I'm pretty sure my town thinks I'm dead as soon as they figure out what happened there. So
And he also needs to buy himself armor.
Did the crying man receive gold out of nowhere?
No, when he walked into the
The
blacksmith,
crying man.
he found
Yeah, I
Aleph
haven't.
murdering the blacksmith, and Aleph gave him money to fuck off.
Okay.
100 gold to walk
It's
away.
good to know that I might have to kill the court magician. Might.
Not might. You definitely do.
Yay.
He did just try to kill you all.
What? But he looks so cool. Can't we just be
He,
friends?
he looked so cool, man. Can I just
mean-
charm person him
That's up to
for like
you.
eternity?
I mean, at the very least, you saw some interesting effects about how he works.
I'm glad. My instinct was to try and Eldritch Blast him, but I think that would have fucked my case up.
You
Like I
know
said,
that
just
one blow.
don't pick stupid fights. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jane's, her instinct was to hide.
Hey, look.
It was
hey,
smart.
I pretty much haven't stopped crying, so I think that's just my character now.
You stopped.
At least level 1. But to his credit, he did survive the genocide of a huge amount of he survived the genocide, almost getting murdered.
Great,
he
now he's got
witnessed the murder.
survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
I like that our group already had like so much stuff prepared that we were able to like play for most of today.
Yeah, yeah.
Played
All
for
we had to do
all.
was the final flip.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Imagine having to make character sheets on session 0.
I know, right?
Only
Yeah.
chumps fall
Yeah.
for that.
Yuck, man.
Who
Yuck.
does that? Ugh.
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we're gonna. Hey, you guys, we should just kick that other campaign's ass. You know, just get some. As soon as we're done with everything, mission-wise, let's just go beat them up.
Hey, listen. With that.
you bitch.
Oh, did I learn anything from the book?
Oh yeah, that would be
Reading it?
that was what I was gonna say for your War Wizard subclass. That's a good. Like I said, it's the arcane tradition of offensive and defensive magics.
Okay.
I can actually, if you usually just look up like D&D 5e, what was
Tools.
it War
5e tools.
Magic?
I mean, you gotta also use 5. You know, he knows what War Mages. That's what he said he wanted his subclass to be. That's why he got the book that he got.
Yeah, you could have just
Yeah, as a reminder, you guys have the
you could have just went to D&D5ewiki.com and just copy and pasted all of that.
that works too. What was the saying? Oh yeah, that remember your books. Write those
All right,
down.
I got it.
Oh, I was talking about the one Leo has. So make sure you have it written down.
Yeah, I have the ye old book was the Encounter of the Unknown, right? Or
Encounters in the Unknown. Yes.
I put it down not as an item in my inventory, but as like in my bio.
That's fine. Just remember the bestiary because that's
That's
In the
right.
character sheet
You
that I
guys
sent
stole
you,
the
it's-
books from the library.
technically she did give
No,
them.
we checked them out, and then there's just no more library now.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah,
dead, so you don't have to
still,
answer to
not
it.
not returning your books to library is like the worst crime of
Yeah,
all.
Jane just really wanted to read the second part of that adventure, so she had to take it. So now I have the first and second part of that adventure.
But the third one is unwritten.
And we'll stay
It's
on
a trilogy.
Ooh.
Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys. If you have any recommendations for music or anything, feel free to toss them my way. I would use a lot of tracks that Thingus gave me because it saved me a lot of fucking time.
I actually think the music was pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like like
Yeah, I agree.
switching the music to match like kind of the mood of the narrative.
yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Hey, Anakin, what did you think of the music?
Shit, y'all were talking like I was listening, but like I was kind of in the back burner or whatever because I was sitting there playing fucking Minecraft and
Fuck
the
yeah,
fucking
man.
music picked up like tenfold and fucking. I was like, what the fuck is going on over there? I was like, shit, bro, they're like getting it out of there. I'm like, I messaged Cameron was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Genocide.
I was like,
Genocide.
shit.
Yeah,
the
just
sad
genocide.
music was playing, like, and I had to have Jane go through the sad part. I was like, shit, this is like hitting me hard.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
The
Like-
music pretty much hit all the notes that he didn't hit. So
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
wasn't even playing.
And the sad.
a pretty good title for this session is Genocide and Food Fights.
Yes.
That's like the title of the chapter.
The thing I had for my session 0 recap is the Night of Dread. Because
Okay.
just because I think A, it fits more thematically, and B, really the meat of it was like the aftermath. Like in that
Yeah.
evening, everyone's just like, ah, fuck.
Yeah,
And that's where we
yeah.
start.
So
And I'm-
it's kind of cool how we're heading towards Croton, and that like wasn't what we planned at all. I love how D&D groups end up doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, we're going to Willesden, then Seabury, and then it's like, okay, we're going to Croton.
I mean, there's still like this, like the other Ninja Turtles. They were fighting about rations, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
those
God knows
guys
what
have to,
happened to
Probably
them.
fucking
they
dead.
have to live. Like, I mean,
I want them to live just so that
No comment.
definitely
God.
dead.
I make no comment on who lives or dies until you either encounter them or find out, because I think that's more impactful as a character, and for you guys as players, because you guys
Oh,
liking
shit.
people means that I can.
I don't
have-
want to know any of the people that I knew, if like Mugwe, Thea, anyone, until I know.
I
I'm so glad you like them.
And I'm
dead.
totally
dead, and
okay
dead.
with them some of them actually dying, because even though that would make me sad, that makes for a better story.
the only person
like
that
that.
needs to make it is Mr. Barmaid. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
The only one to survive is Mr.
Yeah.
Barmaid.
Yeah, yeah.
Sadie's Ash, she's still working night shifts.
Oh my god.
Uh,
No, it'll just be his ghost.
Yeah, just being annoyed at me calling him a barmaid. Well, guys,
Oh.
it was pretty fun.
That was fucking hilarious.
When are we playing again?
Next
Tomorrow,
week,
let's
Sunday.
go.
The
Tomorrow.
what?
Huh? Sorry, I was waiting for
Just in
Next
yeah,
week.
in half
Every
an
day.
hour, right?
You didn't hear.
35 minutes.
Yeah, in like 30 minutes we start again.
Yeah.
Session 1, baby.
It's perpetual campaign.
It's eternal.
It's never
Portal's a
stops.
bot. You didn't know.
Are we meeting? We're meeting every week right now,
Made him
right?
The DM.
We're meeting every week now, aren't we?
Yes.
All right. I have a bi-weekly game that meets on Tuesdays, so that works out.
I also have a game on. Wait, you said every day. Fuck.
Right. So every what are we doing every Sunday or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, every Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, that was pretty fun. Thank you again, Portal. I'm gonna go have some lunch because I'm starving.
Yeah, I have chores to do.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
man,
I'm
go
gonna get yelled
starve.
at.
All right, bye guys.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
Bye.
take care.
Very
brother.
fun.
Cameron, you want to
Talk to you
play
later.
Minecraft with me?
Yeah, I'll hop in another chat with you.
Hey, thank you for watching all the way till the end of the episode. I know it's a bit of an abrupt ending, but everything interesting already ended. Hopefully you'll click on the next one.